The ship lurches to one side, throwing you to the floor. There's yelling and screaming coming from down the hall, as a deep rumbling sound you've never quite heard before fills your ears. Even still, you know exactly what that sound is. It's the sound of water rushing down the halls of your craft. You make the realization just as you open the door just as the door to your room is thrown open and you are blasted back by the force of the ocean washing away what little precious air the wave crest has. So, you guys are about to go on a boat ride.
Not anymore.
Fly.
No, yeah, it's been a month since the events at the arena, since the splitting of the Empire. You've done, well, whatever you guys wanted to do during that month. For the most part, I envisioned you probably at Thivis, the port city that's north, nearest to Euros, nearest to where your family might be out there floating. If you'd like to be someplace else, travel anywhere within the Free Cities or the Empire is available to you. Different places you go might have different reactions and consequences, but nothing bad would have happened. So I want to go through some roundup stuff that has happened, but before I do that, do you guys got any input to this stuff that I'm going to be like, this is what happened to the guild hall, and this is what's going on here and that, just so that I can change anything that I need to as we go.
Man, I know I dumped a bunch of stuff on Discord because I just had like so many thoughts I just had to get out.
I took it all into consideration when I was writing these up.
Okay, that's awesome. Then I got out everything that I wanted to, that I knew I wouldn't remember for this moment right.
Yep.
Based on the way that you described where Oren and his ship may be, you immediately said outposts have been abandoned because it's too expensive. I'm like, that's where we should build our castle. So we need to build a castle, and you're like, it's too expensive to do it, and I'm like, dwarven ingenuity, man, we're gonna do it.
Probably a good point where Mike would say, please insert disc 4.
Yeah.
Begin Castle Builder Simulator, which is built into the game now. So, so the first thing I'll start with then, unless anybody else wants to put some last minute input at me, is you guys let's just give each of you 500 crafting points.
Okay, cool.
You've been very busy on and off the last few weeks, wrapping up stuff with the armies, getting your clan back on its feet, deciding what to do with that, so I'm not going to give you a roll for every day. I'm just going to give you a flat 500. I think that'll be fair. And then Mav asked a very interesting question about wanting to check in on certain people. And so I took that list, and we'll start with there. The first person he wanted to check in with was Captain Makos, your contact in Illinois, you did a lot of the military work with. He survived the war, but he lost his leg, and he is now retired from military service.
Wait, who is this?
He's the captain that you traveled to the mines with, where you first found out the Red Rocks were making all your family mine almost to starvation. Right. Yep. That's okay. Captain Makos. So he's around. He's down a leg. Petros Gravel Boots.
Sounds like the perfect for a pirate.
No. Sounds like the perfect operation for an axe buster. Foot
buster.
Footbuster.
Gosh. The Footbuster.
Gonna hurt somebody.
The next person that was asked about was Petros Gravel Boots. He's the one who fought with you at the gates of Euros. He was the one who got you guys down in the halls. He kind of became one of the champions of that battle, very well respected. He's believed alive, but being that he's in Euros, he is most likely under the sleeping curse that's affecting the city. So there's some information coming about that if you need a refresher on what's going on with that. Lady Despina is doing fine and as cranky as ever. The firstborn very wisely left her out of their war. And she chose not to pick a side and interfere, so she's doing okay. Defiant Mercury, whose name you now know is Felaros Tasto. He and his family are living in the city of Crenshed. He has opened a cart shop there. He sells carts. Okay. He's happy. Maribel Demetropolis died during the war, but It was of natural causes. She was an elderly lady. She had a heart attack. The farm is now up for auction, and her hands are trying to scrape up enough money to buy it. And let's see. The merchant in Copanis that you had a trade agreement with for, I believe it was magic items?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, he is still kicking around. He's still traveling the free cities.
How much would the farm cost them?
I was thinking that before.
So was I.
They
Nice.
probably need about another 100 gold to make sure they pull it off.
All right,
Done.
Let's buy
Done.
it from them.
Oh, come on.
I am so glad that worked that way.
So those were the people that Andy asked about to see how they're doing. There's some of the people that you've encountered over your first travels here in the Northern Empire. So now on to the news in the roundup stuff. There's kind of a lot that's gone down. It's been a big shift in the game here, so bear with me. It's been about a month since the war ended. The Emperor has moved his forces south, as was expected. Like I mentioned before, I think Thivis makes the most sense for you guys if you were hoping to get to Orin quickly. It's a free city, but it's still very loyal to Zilithan, the Emperor. But being in the north, it's the agreement with the north is that the Emperor has no governance there. So it's a free city with very close ties to the Emperor. You have sent for the promised ship that you need to go rescue Orin. Apparently it's supposed to show up at any time. There are 2 ships out there currently that are searching for him. When landmarks were sighted, those 2 ships were given direction to head that way. So, the Granite Backs are back in business. The clan. The 7-7's crafting caravan is, for the most part, operational. You're down some wagons and some Vardos, but you have your clan. They want to know where you want them to operate. In the north, or if you want for sure them to head to the south and start helping with the rebuild down there.
I think.
Yeah, question.
Go ahead.
I would like to reach out to Defiant Mercury to see if we can order some more carts and things.
Yep.
Throw some business his way.
He will very happily do that for you. He will sell them to you at just a hair over cost. He's like,
Perfect.
In the future, he'd love to give you cost, but since he's still establishing a business, he needs to make sure he's making some money.
That's okay. As for where, I don't have a preference south or north. If we are in the north, I think if we did it where we currently are, that'd probably be a good city to start at. I should pull up that map.
I thought where we ended up with that was that we wanted to do the south, but have that property available in the north, but not necessarily operate.
That would be an option too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I thought that's where we ended. Does
that's
anyone?
the state of the guild hall is how we did that, because the inn is already on kind of a down low that you guys own it. The guild hall was pretty public, so you guys talked about doing that operation more secretively, but the caravan travels. This isn't the Adventurers Guild. This is the Crafting Caravan. This is what you all did before you were adventurers.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunity everywhere for them. Home was here, but it sounds like home is going to be in the south.
Okay.
So
Then I'd have the caravan in the south. It's probably the safest place for them.
probably at this point.
And then did we decide to sell the guild hall in the north then?
I
think
thought you
he's
were
getting to
keeping
that.
it. I thought you
We
were
were
keeping
keeping
it.
Well, yeah, I thought the plan was that we were gonna sell it to somebody local. We would still own it, but it would look like they
Yes.
took ownership of it.
Yes.
And that they would
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
run it at the moment, do whatever they wanted with it, but we might have some requests at some point.
Right on.
Yeah.
There are a couple options with that. Cadmus is interested in taking it over as an extension of your guild and running it here.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would probably rename it, but just to make some distance from the few
Yeah.
hard feelings and tensions that there are. But
Yeah.
his noble family is in Capanis, which is just southeast of there. So he's more than happy leaving, but he's also, it's still home and he has family connections here. So it makes sense.
I mean, it's
for
an
him to
estate.
stay.
Someone should probably get some use out of it. So
Yeah.
Okay. So he will look for either volunteers from your current roster to stay and help, or he'll begin recruiting.
Okay.
Or both. So, and there will be some personnel decisions to make with coming up here shortly. So, let's see. Speaking of the guild hall, I just put Thanak in here because I feel like he would have been hot after getting there to find his trophies.
Yes.
Yes.
You were able to recover your trophies and your furniture. Your place had been looted, but just barely. Thankfully, during wartime, things were only sold locally, and you were able to track everything down. But it does end up
good.
costing you 100 gold to get everything back.
That's worth it.
All right. Then I am.
Did we find our secret recipe?
Yes. That is still tucked away behind a brick. You still know how to make crystal meth. That's the secret recipe we're talking about, right?
Yeah, that is.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. So your boss...
What about our cow?
Oh, the cow is gone. Somebody ate the tasty. It was wartime. Tony looks so sad.
I think
sad
Vanek is dead too. 'Cause he had been feeding the cow beer to
Tenderize its meat.
to make his own Wagyu beef.
Sky would have watched you very intently every time you did that. She would have been just very curious as to why you were feeding the cow beer.
I mean, just wait.
okay, Granite Bags is always right.
Yeah. Yep. So the bar is still operational. You still own it. The manager you put in charge was running it, although they barely broke even during the conflict because most people just stayed home. There was not a lot of going out happening. So, but you do still own that, so that's still a good piece of your property. Let's see. I mentioned in Discord that Khalid is planning on staying in the south with his brother and retiring down there. He's going to buy a home in Giaffi and for sure actually retire. He has sent you, it's not a lot, but he sent you 500 gold that the Iron Fists are able to put towards your next expedition. He wants to make sure you find Orin. So
Cool.
Awesome.
unfortunately, your fishing boat is missing, and so are the fishermen. They went out one day and never came back. So
They're probably with blub 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 blub.
Probably.
So no fishermen. Let's see. The Red Rocks have all been but wiped out. Hazani and her brother are the last of the clan leadership left. And she's not even claiming the name Red Rock anymore. Her brother still does. Most other dwarves carrying the name have dropped it and joined other clans. Her twin brother Sardik has taken the estate that you once infiltrated. It's the last of their holdings for the clan. So he's taken and claimed the estate there. He's moved there, but that's all that's left of the Red Rocks. It is no longer a clan name. It is an independent dwarf name.
Does he know that we own the rights to excavate and clean up?
Not that's the keep.
Yeah, that's the keep. The estates where Achilleos first defeated you guys.
Yeah, the one where
you said the estate.
unleashed a poison on an elf.
Yeah, that's where that
Slave.
went down.
What happened? Nothing happened there.
Yes, I remember the estate.
So you gave the Emperor back his medallion and his spear. You made a point of mentioning that. He took them, but he does not wear it or carry that particular spear anymore. He donated them to a museum in the south, in the new capital. The exhibit is titled "The Rebirth of the Empire."
Nice.
So that's where those ended up. You raised your memorial outside of Soldor's crater.
Yes.
Yep. So there's a big memorial been placed out there. It's a big stone cairn, and a lot of them have names carved on them and whatnot. It's pretty sweet. But unfortunately, excavations at the fortress have had to be halted. The ground is far too unstable.
Yeah.
Trying to loot through the area caused several minor tremors and a few collapses. Nobody was hurt, but somebody was about to be.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
So I didn't get a chance to post anything this last week, but I'm willing to bet that Filbert spent the trying to figure out the ins and outs of why Tabby's mad at him for having a friend.
Yeah.
So that's probably the majority of Phil's money. He also probably, having leveled up, learning that he has new abilities, has started to bring more friends more often, since he can now summon Fae onto the material plane.
Mm-hmm.
So things like pixies and satyrs and sprites are probably showing up quite a bit more often. And
Okay.
blink dogs.
And blink dogs.
So
You guys would have witnessed Phil then arguing to the air often.
mhm.
He's just wandering around yelling, and there's a whole lot of the phrase, "I don't understand why you're so mad." that has just gone on.
And he had a pretty good black eye for like a week.
Yeah, Filbert, the normal response from Tabby is, if you don't understand why I'm mad, then you obviously just don't care.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah. So he would also
Sorry,
try.
I'm not giving anybody flashbacks or PTSD.
Right.
Yeah.
PTSD.
Yes. Yes, you are.
He would try and recruit Hazani to help, which will probably make things worse. But it's the only female he knows, and he assumes that female dwarves and female pixies aren't that much different.
Okay.
So
Hazani tells you that is extraordinarily awkward, and she doesn't really want to do this for you, but she'll try. But she never sees Tabby, so
Nope.
every once in a while, you guys find Hazani just talking to the air, and she's saying things like, She's saying things like, "I understand why you're mad, but you need to understand you're a pixie, and I'm a dwarf." And then all of a sudden Hazani starts waking up in the middle of the night with her hand in glasses of warm water and mustaches painted on her face and
that's so exciting.
all sorts of
I'm
other
so
things. And so
happy.
she stops. She says she's not helping you with this anymore. You need to manage your relationship on your own.
Oh my god.
Filbert doesn't understand, so he'll just continue.
Let's see.
So that's probably the majority of his month.
So, yeah, okay. All right, so let's see. We already talked about what to do with the guild hall in the north. And then the Southern Empire. I mentioned in Discord that there's a big push to rebuild and resettle the cities that were destroyed by the Drow. The Sons of the Sphinx have moved to Jarafi, and they are rebuilding the settlement of Agara, which is just west of there, for themselves and for any of the survivors of that city, if they were the original residents.
So the Sons, I'm sort of remembering this. Sons came with us south.
Yep, they are going with the Emperor south. He has given them freedom and residence as citizens in the south.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Would there have been time to work on my training? With Othic's training with Ziz for that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm
sitting at 49 training points. I was just looking at it, so I don't know.
Let's just zero those, and we'll just say in a month's time you have mastered the parry technique. So now
Cool.
Instead of using the bonus action, you can roll a d4 and add that to your armor class for the next round. So if you want to take your bonus action and instead of using it for a butt swing, bump your armor class up for a round, you can.
Nice. Okay.
Yep.
I know we were working towards it. I don't remember what you said as far as when it was going to take place, Mike, but the Warcaster.
That'll be next level.
Okay.
Yep. You're working on that with the others pretty stringently. You're practicing spell work and all that type of stuff and keeping your concentration up. basically you start casting spells and you just tell Thanak to hit you.
Yeah, I figured I was also working that into the argument with Tabby.
Oh, sure.
Trying to concentrate while,
being mentally
yelled
assaulted.
at.
Yeah, that works too.
Did
Look at you with all that salsa.
Yeah.
That jerk. I just got super jealous of all that salsa you just walked over with.
I mean, go get it. He's 20 feet from you.
This is true. I could. I could.
Did you get my message about the item I wanted to create at some point?
I am sure I did. I have been lost in Tournament Land. What was it? Remind me.
It was the ramshackle.
Oh yeah, I think that's super cool.
Okay.
I would say you're getting very close to creating the ramshackle.
Okay.
Yeah, since it's a new magic item, you spent this whole time researching it and planning it out and trying to figure out what to do with it, and you're getting close. You've also practiced this with Phil. So Philbert, Thanak keeps testing this item on you, and wow, that's loud.
Keeps testing this item on you.
Thanak, you want to describe what you're doing to Philbert with this thing?
So it's like, I guess I don't really know what it looks like yet. I have several ideas, and they all sort of end up being a little bit too bulky, I think. I don't know, but...
prods.
No, it's this contraption, and I will come up with, like, a physical description of it at some point. But it's this contraption that... it lets loose this like this amorphous magical aura kind of shoots out of it and turns into the shape of a giant log and just launches itself at you, and then as soon as it hits you, it changes into the shape changes into like a net rope and just completely grapples you. It restrains you.
All right.
Yeah.
I would assume that while this is happening, Filbert has turned you into a giant ape a bunch of times.
I mean, probably. Just
because he learned how to polymorph, and it's funny to him.
Yeah, well, if you do that, I probably counterspell it.
All right.
I mean, like, I'll let you get away with it a few times, but I mean, if you're doing it because you think it's funny, I will probably.
Oh, it's not necessarily just me. It's the 8 pixies that get summoned when I cast.
I suppose I can't counter.
All now polymorphs. That's gonna get adjusted. You are not getting 9 polymorphs in a round. Just throwing that out there.
And I was telling the guys, my intention is to use it for travel. I'm going to turn us all into giant tortoises, and then have the other 4 cast fly on us, so we're just going to be a bunch of flying tortoises.
That is an acceptable use of that. In combat, polymorphing all of my monsters, so I constantly have to be learning new armor classes and hit points and all that. I'm going to make you pay for that if you do that. Just letting you know.
No, I don't intend to use conjure woodland beings in combat to get pixies. I plan to use those for harassment.
That is a perfect use for that.
Yeah, in combat I will likely end up using either Mephits or a gargoyle.
Cool.
From the conjure elementals.
Awesome. Let's see what else is going on. So you got an extra year now on the fish curse. So Ryan threw out an interesting idea with that. Filbert, would you be willing to attempt to get in contact with the lady who lives in the lake?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. How would you go about doing that?
I would wander down onto the beach and just start shouting. Because I don't know how Phil would do it any other way.
Okay. Well, that would include taking a trip down to the lake then, because you guys are pretty far from the lake. So during
Can I just tell you that when I originally threw this idea out, I thought that might actually happen, and just to hear him say it has brought so much joy to my life.
No, Thivis is northeast of the lake. You're on the shore of the ocean, not the lake.
Gotcha.
It'd take you about a week to get there and back. So,
Okay.
Filbert, and maybe a bit longer, you take your trip there, and when you get there, you realize the lake is not healthy. It is far more choked with, it's natural seaweed. How do I want to describe it? It's just yucky looking seaweed.
It's Kravitz Lake.
Except everything's blacker and darker, and there are a lot of dead fish floating in the water.
All right.
Like the algae is
You get no
overrunning and
answer
choking
from the
everything.
I don't know. Andy, can you cast? What's the name of that spell? Divination.
Can I cast what?
The spell divination.
No.
I thought it was on your list.
Even if it's on my list, it's not on my list.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how your list worked. I didn't know if you were able to change.
It's like a sorcerer.
Yeah, he doesn't get the whole cleric
Yeah, but
list.
what's her name? Hazani probably has it.
Hazani, she's a cleric.
Are you taking a vacation with Hazani?
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds awesome.
Filbert, what animal would you be the most disgusted by? I know you're a druid, and so you kind of like animals, but there's got to be stuff Filbert doesn't like.
Filbert, animals specifically?
Or whatever types of things an angry pixie could polymorph your new girlfriend into on your vacation.
Oh no, frogs, amphibians, small, gross things. Spiders. He's not overly fond of spiders.
You become one all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it's okay when I am one, and they're great for fighting. I just don't want to play with them.
He just doesn't want to be mated by one.
Yeah.
Also, that was
Too
terrible.
late.
That was bad. Did not enjoy. But is she able to cast the divination spell?
Yeah, she's level 7 now, so she'd be able to.
Okay.
So, yep,
To
your
see if
whole
maybe
trip,
we can get-
every time, like every so often, honestly, she just gets transformed into a thing.
Yay.
Yep. Just,
That
it's,
makes...
and she's getting real tired of it.
Have I figured out that she's the problem yet? Probably not. Probably.
Here's the
not.
question. Which she is the problem?
That's also valid. Phil has no idea. He just wants his friends to get along.
You're pretty wise. You'd be able to at least put
Yeah.
the breadcrumbs together. You would be confused as to maybe why Tabby's so mad.
Breadcrumbs?
But
Yeah. I would ask her to stop. I think that's all I would know to do.
Tabby would look at you and say, "No, you stop."
You're really good at this, and I'm kind of concerned for your psychological well-being. I'm just saying. I hurt for my friend who knows all of these lines.
I'm pretty sure we've all heard them at some point, multiple times.
Yeah, well. Mine can hear you, so I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
So, and you want Hazani when you get to the lake to cast divination?
Yeah, I don't know if it works like commune or like any of the other spells, but to just kind of get a gist of what the crap is going on here.
Okay. Okay, so it gives you a single. You cast a spell and you ask a single question concerning a specific event or action or something like that. The DM, I offer a truthful reply, but it might be a short phrase, it might be a cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
Ooh.
You get an omen.
Yay.
So when Hazani casts this, you watch as three, like the sand parts and creates three like if you were building a sandcastle, three little tributaries that all flow into the same pool, and that pool turns extraordinarily black and starts to bubble and stink.
Okay. Oof. Okay, so the lake is sick, and something is making it sick from outside of the lake. And I can't find the lady by yelling for her.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna let you ponder that.
Does the water seem poisonous with my alchemical prowess?
Well, I was gonna say no. It seems like that point on the Wolf River where all the trailers are.
Ooh.
Whoa.
So it's not
sewage.
poisonous, but it's gross.
Sewage.
It's poison in the most broad sense of the term.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fancy. How far away was the shrine?
Underwater?
Yeah,
Far.
Yeah.
It was like a whole day's swim when you had like freedom of movement swimming on.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I will leave some sort of message for the lady in Sylvan. No, in Druidic. And Sylvan.
Okay.
Asking her to contact me and that I'm searching for answers on how to fix this. And we've been given time, and then also, hey, how can I help fix your lake?
Okay. Cool. So then you two head back.
Yep.
Filbert, on the way back, you are turned into the frog, which
good.
Hazani giggles at, and then you hear another giggle nearby.
Oh, they're bonding. This is good. I will allow it. I will let them because I'm used to mischief and I appreciate mischief. I will let them bond over my harassment because Filbert thinks that's a really good thing, even though it's probably not for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is.
But he may be wise, but women don't make any sense to me.
Right.
So.
Right on.
All right.
Okay. So you guys you two head back, and you get back to town probably the same day that Marilee has figured out where Orin is. So there's a bit of a hubbub. You're getting back to town. A message is sent to the Emperor to ask for help. You guys now are using the standard sending or message spell, which I never remember which one's whichever the higher level one is, because the
sending messages the cantrip.
the pouches have been recollected.
Sending.
Oh, okay. I get. Yeah.
Did Hazani meet the Lady of the Water?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
I was going to say I'd have her send a sending spell, but
Okay.
she can't do that.
So you get a message back that the captain is already in town and will meet you shortly. And about a half an hour later, wherever you guys are staying, I'm guessing the local inn or a safe house or something like that nearby, someplace that has been set up for you guys. There is a pounding on the door.
I'll answer it.
Okay. Filbert does not poof. Filbert, you have more control over that now.
Yes.
You have the next step of control over your face style.
What does that mean?
Like, can you? When I don't remember, you still couldn't do it on command yet, could you?
No, I could once per long rest. Does it move up to the short rest now?
Yes.
Wonderful.
So you have your full face step ability. Before we move on to this, was there anything else you guys wanted to do?
Not necessarily do, but is there? What's the? Because we're up in the north now, right?
Yep.
What's the relations like? I mean, are people
Political climate?
nervous around us? Are people nervous around us? Or people
Not in Thivis.
are they? Okay.
Thivis is very loyal to the Emperor. So
Okay. All right.
Where is our family?
You sent them south.
Yeah.
They're doing their repair stuff
Yeah.
down in the Southern Crown.
That's right. They're reforming the crafting clan.
Yep, and they're gonna operate it out of the south and start out with helping with the rebuild.
Did we say we started helping with the rebuild, or did we have time for that even, or not?
You would have been south. There would have been things you could do here though, with helping Thivis, because there was a lot of fighting that went on here. So you could have been making yourselves useful for sure.
Okay.
So all right, then let's get back to the very loud knock on the door, and Othig goes to answer it, and there, standing in front of you, is a 9-foot-tall Goliath woman.
Is the Goliath?
No, ours is like 5 foot.
Yeah, yours
that's right.
is midgeted. Yours is dwarf size. This is a very large woman. She's got huge muscles, and it appears that she's wearing some kind of sailor outfit.
Yes.
All right.
How goes it?
Oh, good. She introduces herself as Captain Lulu Flowerfist of the Wave Crest Mark II.
What a great name.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she had made it this far. All right.
It's one of Crystal's characters that she doesn't get to play often that is currently cruising around in a naval ship for the Setnovian Navy.
Nice.
I use her all the time when I need to transport people through
Very
stuff.
cool. She got an upgrade.
Yeah, she did. She is now sailing a new vessel. The original Wave Crest is in dry dock. This one has been built off of its specs.
Very cool.
She wants to know if you're ready to leave.
Oh, yeah, I think we are. As far as I'm aware, we're ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I have no idea where we're going. But.
Oh, wait. Maybe we're not ready. Is there anything that we need to bring for a voyage that will potentially kill us? And
I mean, outside of anything else that has potentially killed us.
So are you ready for a standard week of D&D?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, who's crewing the ship?
She has a crew.
Okay.
So we are just booking passage. For
She is,
more or
but
less.
she'll put you to work while you're on the ship. You'll be
Yeah, that's
assigned
totally fine.
tasks and things like that.
She knows the area that we're going through because Crew is traversed, or at least knows the area that we're going, right?
No, nobody goes where you're going.
Yeah, but she knows about it.
She does know about it.
Yeah. Okay. So is there anything that she thinks that we could bring that they don't have on the ship that would help the crew?
The ship is very well outfitted with weaponry that fires both above and under the waves. It's got emergency supplies, things like that. You'll be issued a standard water-breathing potion in case of a complete submersion. So she doesn't have anything in specific that she would tell you to bring. She would just bring stuff, tell you to bring stuff. Like whatever you need. And if you want to bring any additional crew members along, that's fine as well.
I think where we are going, what's the climate like?
If you make landfall there, it is cool temperate.
So we should be fine. I can't. Outside of our normal adventuring stuff, I can't think of anything specific to bring.
Mike, am I able to?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say side question. Side question before I pick because I'm totally gonna forget. Bill, did you make any more of those potions?
That was going to be my follow-up question when you guys are done yammering.
I was just about to ask that as well.
All right. So you could invest in potions. Phil can make potions with what he has left for ingredients.
Yep. Yeah, I want to get some of Phil's, and I'd also want to invest in some of my own. So I was going to ask: is there any what's the rate where we're at?
It's pretty high because supplies were decimated by the conflict. So you're looking at 200 gold pieces for a miner.
Thanks.
Yep.
I could add 4d6 to each of your crystal vials and 5 to Othigs.
Yeah.
But that would tap me out.
Is that what you want to do?
I can do that. Yeah, I've got nothing else I want to use my points for right now. So
Okay. All right.
And which ones are those? Are those the 1d plus ones or the 2d4 plus twos?
that's your crystal vial, the one that just accumulates more over time.
Yeah. I'm only asking because I was consolidating all my potions into that thing.
Sure.
Yeah, as you should.
I would be able to add 5 to yours. And then Mike.
Yeah.
The only other question that I had before we get moving, you had mentioned because I already had armor, you were going to look at something different.
I never did.
You ever...
Okay. No, yeah, we did. We talked about adding acid claws to your melee attacks when beast form.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we did settle that.
I forgot that was the thing. I was looking through. I was like, I don't have an item.
No, that's what you should have. Okay. So do you want to bring any of your other NPCs along for this voyage? If not, what would you like them doing? Because you do have most of your guild with you. You're missing Orin, Grummy, Sky, and I think the low level chick. I don't remember. Pretty sure.
I thought it was 2 fellas, 2 females.
Sky and I don't remember.
Okay.
Daphne.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it was Daphne.
Oh,
you didn't
was
find her
running
anywhere
with all
else.
the ladies.
Oh, is she not a level 1 anymore, by the way?
Well,
She's a trainee.
she would
She's
be probably
she's
a level
commoner.
2 now, but
Yeah. There you go.
So we're missing most of our yellow team. Harag is dead. Who is our... Harag was the boat person, wasn't he? Who's the sailor?
Farag wasn't a sailor. He was a
Halcoin.
How? Him.
Halcyon.
Halcyon. That was his name, yeah.
We have a paladin running around
that's
somewhere
right.
too, don't we?
That's Cadmus. He's running the
Tavern. Or, not tavern, the guild hall
yeah.
in Elenos. I'd say bring Halcone, the warlock.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
And Skog and Raki probably want to go on a trip with us. Or drink alcohol. One of the two.
Or both.
The other ones, I would say we have them out and about helping as they can.
Okay. So you got Hal, Skog and Raki, and that was it, right?
Hazani.
Yeah.
Hazani?
Yeah. Hazani.
Okay. All right, so you got a full functioning second team then.
Where's Marilee, Adam? What is she doing?
Why are you asking me?
She's your lady friend.
She would have been she just scried for the day to find out where Orin was. So she wouldn't be able to do it again till tomorrow. She might be somebody to bring along as well.
Yep, that was why I was wondering.
Because she is the one. She's the only one with the skill set to use that orb.
So yeah, we should bring Marilee along instead of the low-level fella.
Why don't we just bring them all? All
You
four
don't
of
have a
them.
low-level fella coming with you.
Oh, I thought somebody said something about a low-level guy.
No, she's missing. Daphne's missing.
Right, that's right. Okay. Yeah, we'll bring them all. Everybody, let's get on the boat.
Well, I mean, the four of them. Not everybody. Although, if we're going to plot our course for our new castle, maybe we should bring everybody.
That's what I'm saying. We'll take over the new world.
It's up to
Columbus
you
style.
guys.
Get ready to insert disc 4, everybody.
Yeah.
All smoke methods. You guys spread around some polio. We got this.
Some polio. Oh, don't do that. It's terrible.
Just for the natives.
All
Just
right.
for the natives.
Just for the natives. We'll leave the animals alone.
No, feed them liquor and get them drunk. That way they taste better.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, I think that'll work. Bring the Warlock, bring Stugenraki.
Hey guys,
and-
my inventory. I feel like Gilgamesh.
Who named these teams? Senile Genie and Centipede Infestation?
That's where they went. That was their missions.
Oh, that's not the team name.
I really like those team names. I'm just saying.
It is under team. Just an FYI. In our combat track or our campaign tracker.
That's really funny. I really need to update that thing.
I did up to
Classic.
Yeah, those were
Too many Chiefs.
well, I named the groups because I was trying to find synergy up to Wetworks, and then I think because we were just trying to square stuff away with teams that we sent away on certain missions, and so I was just trying to do the math quick for their skills, and so that's why I just did it by mission name. Yeah. So that would be my fault.
All right, so you guys head about town.
I didn't even think like how messed up that would look. I was just like trying to do stuff.
So funny. You guys head about town, gather up, standard adventuring supplies that you always bring with you. You top off your rations. You get your teammates together, and you head. Lulu tells you to meet her down at the docks. Whenever you're ready.
Filbert will head down to the docks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not with Owlbert.
Okay.
That's in conflict. So, just a partner in crime. Oh, you had an O. What's your O?
I totally forgot to add that stuff that we got last time we played.
Oh yeah, you got your armor and
Yeah.
what else did I give you?
He's got that weapon that can change shape.
No, well that I added from before, but at least I think I added that from before. I've got to
You
look for
should.
that.
Yeah. That's what you're using as a glaive.
Oh, that's what I'm currently using as my weapon. Glaive of
Yeah.
Banishment. Yeah. No, I got that splint mail, Brigadier General's splint mail, and the Commander's War Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Commander's
those-
War Gong gives everybody a D4 to use at their leisure, right? Or isn't it an advantage
No, it was a D4 that we could use.
on an attack roll in the next
Yeah.
fight?
Yeah, but it
On an
wasn't.
attack roll or any roll?
I thought it was any attack roll. Maybe not necessarily like an attack roll, but it was like a D20 roll.
Yeah, I thought it was any D20 roll. Because
For which one?
For his gong.
The
we
war
could use
gong.
it. So we could use it for a save or
Or an
Yeah,
attack.
as
That's
an
fine.
attack.
Okay.
I don't mind.
But was was that only once per day?
Yes, that is a once per day item.
Okay.
All right, so you guys head down to the dock then?
Yeah.
To the dock. So you guys show up at the dock, and Lulu's standing out on the pier, like just chilling out there, looking out over the water.
So
Lulu,
majestic.
that's the captain.
Yep.
I'll go stand next to her
Cool.
and look out on the water with her. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna go stand next to her and go, yeah.
She
Like I know what she's talking
I'm
about.
gonna stand on the other side and do the exact same thing.
okay.
And
well,
just play with her beards.
she doesn't look at you at all. She just looks out over the water, and then puts a whistle in her mouth, and it blows this whistle, and a very high pitched sound comes out of it. And about 30 seconds later, the water out in front of her begins to writhe and to roil, and this ship comes up out of the water, and it looks like a squid from head to toe, and like it's got a big column sticking up out of the center of it that has it's almost like where a mast would be, and it starts to float in the water there right in front of you, and she just jumps down onto it and starts walking towards the column, and a hatch pops open, and a tabaxi sailor is in there, and he waves at the captain, salutes her, and she smiles and looks back and says, "All aboard."
All right, I'll go.
I'll hop on.
Yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
that's awesome.
So first mate Leaky Wheel welcomes you on board as you guys crawl down into the hatch. It's a pretty slick looking vessel. It's a lot of gnomish technology built into it, and you can see where the original Triton design was, but it's been tinkered with and the gnomes would say improved upon. But other people might argue that.
Would I agree with the gnomes?
You respect gnomish work. It's a different style of work than dwarven work, but since you're a tinkerer, you definitely respect it. You see a lot of pipes pumping through this thing with a strange whitish blue fluid. A lot of those head back towards the engine.
Do I know what that is?
You do not know what that is.
Does anybody else know what that is?
Yeah, there's a lot of people on board that know what that is.
Do any of them want to talk to me?
If you could ask somebody.
Yeah, I'll ask. I mean, if the captain is in a speaking mood, I will speak to the captain about it. Like, what is this?
She just points at a gnome who's got these like big goggles on his face, and it looks like his face is covered in soot, and he's dragging two wrenches that are about as big as he is behind him, and he just looks at you and he's like, "No time to talk," and he just starts walking away.
All right. I'll find out what it is later.
So you're ushered, you're taken to your quarters, you're shown around the ship. Leaky Wheel shows you where you'll be staying, where you can store all your gear, distributes to everybody an emergency emergency water breathing potion. It's not as potent as a regular one, which lasts an hour. This gives you 5 minutes. So if there's a problem in the ship, it should be enough to get you to the surface.
Is this expected to be returned at the end of the trip if we don't use it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we have like a point man to like? I assume the captain's going to be too busy for us to always like hound the captain for questions. Is there somebody that if we have questions, or if we like somebody that we should talk to, or just find a random person?
Leaky Wheel points down the hallway, and there's a really skinny redheaded human standing by a door between what it looks like the quarters area and the main cargo and operational area of the ship is.
Does that redhead have a name?
It's Wesley.
Wesley, okay.
Yep.
Shut up, Wesley.
God, geez. Everybody tells me to shut up. You tell him to shut up and his freckles get really bright red.
So I'll take the time and ritual cast water breathing for the 4-hour period.
Okay. So you're in for about a 10-day trip.
Sure. It's in my ritual book, and there's no cost to it, so I'll just make sure to, as part of the morning ritual, for 8 people.
Okay, how long does that last?
24 hours.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, it does. I thought it was only an hour. Okay, cool.
No, that's a nice long time.
Awesome. All right. So you take care of that
10 willing creatures
every day. Take care of that. Take care of the whole crew you brought along.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'll even add the captain in if she wants it.
Well, you'd have to include Tabby. There'd be the 4 of you, Tabby, and then the 5.
You're right. I
5
forgot
NPCs.
about Tabby.
Yep.
That's why she's mad at you.
Tony knows that.
So after you get settled in and you meet Wesley, Leaky Wheel leaves, goes back to the helm of the ship, and you guys are kind of left to your own devices. You're kind of given chores, but most of them are dumb chores. They're things like cleaning and making sure the cargo is secured and fetching things for other people, but it's stuff to make yourself useful with. after being on the ship for just a little while, even before it resubmerges, you realize that this ship crews a lot less people than a standard ship would. It seems like there's a handful of very well-trained individuals that run this thing. So instead of having like the 20, 30 sailors that a rigging ship would take, this thing doesn't operate with nearly as many.
I would definitely offer my services as a tinkerer. If you need somebody who's it's just a grease monkey.
Okay. So you eventually you go down to engineering to introduce yourself to the engineer, and the ship lurches, and you hear a couple of things clanging around, and you hear the sound of rushing water going up and down the pipes, some of the pipes on the side, and the ship is obviously now sinking. And then you feel it start to move away from the dock, and then it makes a wide turn, and you can definitely feel that you're underway at this point. So you get down to engineering, and you meet Crank, the engineer, and he's a gnomish engineer. He introduces himself very briefly. You let him know you have some tinkering skills, and he just points over at a board over there, and he says, "Make sure it's working." And there's like gears and sprockets like falling off of it. They're attached to springs and stuff, and it does not look like it's working.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, is it like here's what I would like to do. I don't want to insult any of their because I do appreciate gnomish engineering, but I want to
improve it.
I want to here's the thing. I feel like an IT guy making a house call, and like everybody's wires are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be the guy that just comes in and like makes all the cables nice, and like in a server room, there's a difference between like somebody who knows how to handle a server, somebody who just like plugs
Those
wires
people
wherever
don't
they go.
exist.
Sure.
That's what I would like to do.
Make a tinkering check.
Okay.
Come on, that one.
Where is that?
Seriously, this is the
Who's the
perfect time
reason
to
for
fail.
us taking on water? Adam is.
20. So yeah, it's a good check. Crank is impressed with your skill, and he's like, so you do know your way around cogs and sprockets. Good. Now we'll be able to get back up out of the water again. And so you guys continue on forward. You do, after a day on the ship, you do, at some point in time, you would have made your way towards the bow of the ship, and you would have realized there's a big viewport up there, and you are fully underwater. And so you can see the ocean going by as you go, and the wave crest stays pretty close to the ocean floor. And they do that to avoid attracting large predators and things like that. So they stay pretty low to the floor. They cruise along. It's a very alien world down here. We've all watched nature programs where we've seen things like this going on. But it's a pretty standard trip. And then at one point, there have been no deviations, no turns. You've been, for the most part, headed east by northeast towards the continent you guys are sailing towards, Bulrar, and you all of a sudden Lulu veers the ship to the north quite a bit, to the point where you guys aren't prepared for this. The crew is prepared for it. There's handholds around everywhere. They grab a hold of them. You guys don't quite grab them in time, so maybe you take a step or two backwards. It doesn't tumble you to the ground, but it's definitely a big shift. And then she settles back into that course for a while. And I need you guys to make perception checks at this moment. Oh, that's terrible. That's good.
That is terrible. Hey-o.
That's not good. That's terrible.
Yes!
But you got a good bonus. Othling and Filbert, you both pick up on this. The ship is doing something it has not done the entire ride. The entire ride has been completely smooth, which is weird for you because normally on a boat there's bouncing around, and you guys have sailed now at least a little bit. You know that this is abnormal, but now the boat is the ship is there's a tremor running through the ship.
Does it? I mean, do I even? I mean. Can I respond to this because I didn't? My perception was low.
After it's pointed out to you, yeah.
Okay, is it? Does it seem like mechanical shuttering?
No, it feels like the current is pulling at the ship.
Does anybody seem concerned about this?
A couple of people make a perception check. Actually, an insight. Oh.
Yeah, insight.
Is insight better? It is when you re-roll it. 14. Some of the crew do look nervous.
Can I talk to the crew about like what it is that I'm hearing?
Yeah, absolutely. You ask what's going on, and Leaky Wheel tells you that you're about a day away from the Maelstrom, and already the current is pulling at the ship.
I was so confused, Andy. I was like, "What is happening?" I thought it was falling backwards in slow motion.
Did you pick your desk up? Did he stand up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
I thought about just sitting there as it raised, and like I just slowly come out of frame.
Love it. That's awesome.
So yeah, they're getting closer to the Maelstrom.
Okay.
Do we know what to expect from this trip? I mean, on some level we probably do, but
I mean, you've all heard legends of it, that out in the middle of the ocean there is a giant whirlpool that's about 100 miles wide that sucks the water in and it comes back out somewhere, but no one really knows where.
Hollow Earth. Alright.
Do we at this point assume it goes into the Underdark or no?
No, nobody knows. You didn't see any place where it would have come out in the Underdark where you were traveling.
Mhm.
But you were pretty far away from that.
Yeah, we weren't really all that close to it.
No.
Well, I would just say let's continue on.
Mm-hmm.
They know what they're doing.
Okay, so you continue on, and this behavior happens a lot. It feels like Lulu moves the ship north to get out of the pull of the Maelstrom, and then turns back east by northeast, trying to make progress. And when the pull gets to be too great, she veers north again. So this process is happening over and over again. And
So it's like she's using the pull to accelerate the ship or the speed of the ship, but doesn't. She's like almost like slingshotting.
not quite. If you mention that, she says that is the plan later, but right now she's just trying to stay out of the current. She doesn't want to be in the current.
Is she navigating around it by using the
the
wave?
feel of the ship? So she's skirting it right now. She says at one point in time she will pull into one of the currents and hopefully slingshot out the other side. But yeah,
But not yet. All right.
not yet.
Do we go back in time when that happens?
No, and you do not have to pick up humpback whales.
Oh, okay, sweet.
So this goes on for about another day, and then she there's a warning klaxon that starts to echo through the submarine, and all hands are being told to prepare for the slingshot maneuver. So what could possibly go wrong? So it's really crazy. Like the shaking is getting very intense, but now you're used to it. It's happened dozens of times. So everybody's holding on to something. The sailors are very, very nervous at this point in time. And I would say over the course of the last day, the people have told you that nobody's ever tried this underwater. So
I would like to cast Bless on our captain.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
And aid. And guidance.
And I would just say to the captain, things are only impossible until they are not.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
The war gong. Going back to that, we just said allies. How many?
All the allies.
It is all of your allies in earshot of it. So in a 60-foot radius.
So does
You
the
can
ship's
hear a
crew
gong
count
from
as
further
my
out.
allies?
The submarine doesn't, but the crew does. But you are
And
not
will
in
I cast guidance?
you're not in a combat situation, though.
You're cast guidance.
You're not in a combat situation, though.
Oh, Andy's gone.
Oh, it's got to be in a combat situation?
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So the shaking, it just continues to increase and to increase and to increase, and one of the crew members loses it and barfs. And I need you guys to make Constitution checks, and so does everybody else on the ship.
Check or save?
It's a save. Oh, the crew is very resilient. 2019 and a 14 plus 4.
Jeez.
You guys, however, not doing so well. 23 is great. 30 is great.
I'd like to mention that Othig is clearly drinking while this is happening also.
Filbert, you lose it. You blow some chunks, and then all of a sudden, the shaking stops, and the ship pitches forward just a little bit, like nose down, and you see Lulu cranking back on the helm, and her arms are just shaking, like so violently.
I will be available to look this back.
And the look of this woman, she looks like she could lift this submarine.
Okay, bye.
And she's just pulling back on this thing, and then all of a sudden, some valves on the side in the helm area pop, and they're shooting out water, and another one pops on the other side, and some of that white fluid is spraying out. Which Thanak, at this point in time, Crank would have told you that's gnomish soul fluid.
All right.
So people are being sprayed by both the water and the soul fluid. And then you hear some calls for help from down in the engineering compartment.
I will head down to see if I can help.
Okay.
Here's my question. Would I be able to help plug some of these holes with the tinkering stuff, or do I think I would be needed with my skill set more in the engineering?
You would think, I'm guessing since you're inexperienced sailors, you guys would just assume anywhere where stuff is shooting out into the open probably needs to get fixed.
Okay. So I will attempt to start plugging some of these holes.
Okay.
Or however.
All right. Anything Othig or Mab would like to be doing? Your blessing and aiding people that make checks?
Inspiring people with some assistance.
All right. So you get in there and you're assisting Thanak as he's trying to plug some stuff. Othig, what are you doing?
Yeah, just lending muscle.
All right. Filbert, you run down the hall and you see Crank has his foot on one leak. He's got his hand up on another leak, and he's got one of his wrenches in his mouth, and he's trying to turn a giant valve nut.
And it looks like something that's going to require some strength.
It does. It also looks like maybe if you could find a way to plug or stop the leaks at the same time, he might be able to get better leverage himself. So either approach.
Okay. I will cast on him polymorph and turn him into a giant ape that has a strength of 23 and a con of 18.
Hold on,
so
wait
that
a
he
minute.
can have the strength of that. And I am going to turn myself into an octopus and put my tentacles in the holes.
Okay. How tall is a giant ape?
It's huge. I don't know what that means, but huge.
You would know. You're a wise enough
Oh, we're in a
person.
submarine.
Yeah. He would not fit in here.
I'm not gonna polymorph him into that then, and I will turn him into a normal ape because they have a strength of 20.
Sure. Do you change his intelligence when you do that in polymorph?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes,
I
I'm
have
pretty
no
sure you
idea.
do. He
Oh,
keeps
then I'm
his
not gonna polymorph him.
personality,
I'm
but
just-
he gets new stats.
Then I'll just turn into an octopus and plug the holes with my tentacles and
Okay.
try and pull things and aid him to the best of my ability.
Okay. He watches you turn into an octopus and he screams a little bit, and then he looks down and sees this smiling druidic octopus at him, and he's like, "That's creepy! That's so creepy!" And you just kind of like ooze your tentacles around into holes, and he's like, "But useful!" And he starts swinging on this wrench, and he's tightening his nuts, and you watch him do this crazy maneuver. It's almost like watching Oliver Queen do the arrow like ladder thing, where he's got a bar and he's doing pull-ups, but he's putting the bar up at the next one. This gnome is doing this with this wrench while he's tightening this nut. It's pretty impressive. So he's getting a handle on that. Up in the control room, Othig and Mav are running around helping people. Thanak, make a tinkering check. And which thing do you want to fix first, the soul fluid or the water leaking?
I think probably the soul fluid, just because that's probably limited.
Okay.
So if that thing is like leaking, then I want to make sure that there's still, you know what I mean. If it's limited, I want to make sure that.
Absolutely. So you're watching. You're getting sprayed by this stuff as you're working on this leak, and you're pipe wrapping this pressure fissure that's appeared. And this stuff moves a little bit like mercury. Once it sprays out, it kind of pools and collects by itself. It doesn't quite move around quite as fast, but it definitely has that feel to it. And you get a handle on the soul fluid leak. And as you do that, the ship speeds up with its nose down, and it starts to dive further down into the water. And Lulu's cranking on the wheel harder. And she screams, "We're taking on too much water."
Oh, that's bad. Do we know where the majority of the water is coming in?
Through various leaks like the ones that you're plugging and you're plugging. There's probably some in other areas of the boat as well.
Can Hazani's with us, correct?
Yeah, she's somewhere on the ship.
Does she have create or destroy water?
Probably not prepared.
Gilbert has it.
You have it prepared?
I do. Because the last time we were doing things, we were in a desert.
That's true.
So I have that. I also have control water. So I can cast control water and move water and also create and destroy water, which is an instantaneous spell. I can do both of those at the same time.
All right.
Actually, she does have that still memorized. I probably would have changed it up, but she had it memorized for when she was
might not have.
feeding the... Yeah, it's true. So she...
Yeah, she might not... I mean, specifically because we're in a submarine.
Yeah.
And, there's all the stuff, the breaking.
So, yeah, she can definitely run down to... Well, all the water is pooling in the nose of the ship. That's why it's dipping down. She can run down there and destroy a bunch of water.
Okay.
Yeah, I will help her do that, and I will also use control water, which is...
Are you coming out of octopus form?
Yeah, I'll come out of octopus form.
If you do that, your leaks are going to open back up again.
Yep, but I can choose a freestanding area of water that's a cube 100 feet on a side, and I can control what that water does. So I'm guessing amongst the pieces of water flowing in here, I can just stop those leaks with that 4th level spell.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
One of them is redirect flow, so I will just make them flow the opposite way.
Okay. That works. So you guys, your NPCs cast some spells. You see Hal casting some spells too. Actually, it looks like he's talking to something.
Can I just make a comment real quick?
Sure.
So physics-wise, if he's doing this and the air is going out those holes, technically, if it's underneath the submarine going to rise to the surface.
No, there's all kinds of problems physics-wise with doing.
Yes.
All kinds of problems.
Yeah, but it's like he's making it like a carbonated beverage, and we're
However, thankfully, we're not using physics. We're using magic.
And that's central plan.
Yep. So,
Perfect. Thank you.
If Filbert gets a handle on his leaks with control water, and Crank is starting to now patch those up. You guys in the control room, as Hazani's running down to the nose of the ship, a giant pipe bursts loose from the ceiling, and it's shooting steam into the helm. So we need some strength rolls to push that sucker back into place. So if you two who are prepared to help with whatever goes wrong, while Thanak is free on the pipe, so Othig and Mav, if you want to make some strength rolls.
Yeah, I was going to say, am I in that area? I can help.
I will cast guidance on Othic.
Sweet. What is
and
that?
then assist him. And I believe assisting will give him
Advantage.
advantage.
Ooh, advantage on a
Strength check.
Yes. And then so 21. Oh wait, no, sorry, not just 4. D4.
20. So a 20. So Othig, you get your glaive under there because you're not quite tall enough to reach this pipe, and you shove it back into place. And then Thanak comes running over, and somebody lifts him up, and he starts monkeying with this one now, as Mav is casting some spells. And you make perception checks, you three.
Oh.
It was almost good.
Yeah.
Nope.
You've done the best.
You don't see what's going on here, but there's something going on the bridge. Everybody has stopped screaming and staring, but you guys are very focused on what's going on. They're all staring at Hal. So
Who?
Oh, because you said he was talking.
yeah, at Halcoin.
Oh no, is he?
And Marilee goes running down into the bow of the ship, and immediately you know when her spell goes off because the boat pops up. The nose comes up quite a bit, and Lulu relaxes some on the wheel, and it looks like she has control of it. And then the whole submarine rolls to the side, and people are screaming. And I need dexterity saving throws from everybody.
Oh my god.
Is
Oh dear.
you said dexterity save?
Yep.
I guess this minute's the same.
Filbert's the only one who's managing to not take damage from this tumble. Everybody else.
Filbert's just whistling and walking around as like he's walking on the wall as it slopes.
Like upside down.
Yep.
And so you each take 3 damage as the submarine rolls to the side, and sailors are.
Could you give us
screaming.
a rest real quick? Because I'm still hurt.
Oh yeah, totally. I meant to do that several times. I was trying to do it when I had the player screen up, and I'm like, why can't I do this? Where's the menu button? And then I realized what I was doing.
Oh.
Menu.
3 damage goes to everyone except Filbert.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And let's see. Everybody's screaming, and the ship turns. It rolls over and it turns, and you can tell this thing is being pulled straight into the current at the moment. Anything you guys want to do?
Get it out of the current.
You said that Hal stopped talking?
No, he's still talking. As a matter of fact, he is standing upside down on the ceiling, speaking in a language none of you recognize, I'm guessing.
Like, does it appear to be bad talking, or like he's trying to save the ship type of talking?
Well, his eyes are completely black, and it looks like there's tentacles coming out of his mouth, so it doesn't look like good talking. He looks really
He's
calm.
a warlock.
I will cast comprehend language real quick.
Okay. He is asking somebody to help, and you hear him say, "I don't think we have a minute."
So he's talking to his patron to see if we can get some intervention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I will yell out with him. I don't even know what to say.
I don't think you can speak the language. You can only understand it.
Oh,
You
you're
can
right.
read it
I
and
can't.
understand
You're right.
it. You can't
You're
speak
right.
it. You need tongues
You're
for
right.
speaking
You're right.
it.
You're right. You're right. Yeah. I guess I'll just.
Matt is just gonna be like, "Oh, Captain."
Yeah. I'll just look for whatever else needs to be fixed.
Okay. All right. As the ship begins to kind of like right itself again, you see Lulu's kind of like in a 3-point stance with one hand on the ceiling and her legs spread out, and she's got one hand on the wheel and she's trying to cram it back, but she's fighting almost impossible odds at this moment, and you hear her yell to engage the soul drive. And Filbert, you hear Crank go, "Oh no!" And he looks at you and he says, "How good's your cousin at fixing things?"
I mean, we catapult him into a silo once.
He says, "Good enough for me."
Wow, let me see that. That's amazing. That's very cool. I love it.
Smart people. It scared me.
Yeah. Yes, me too.
That's awesome. Wow.
So he clambers up as the ship's trying to right itself, and he kind of scrambles up the floor. And there's a big lever on the far side of the room, and he closes his eyes and he's like, "I don't believe in any of that crap." And then he just throws the red lever. It looked like he was about to pray. And the ship begins to shudder and shake, and it just shoots through the water with a lot of speed, but then there is an explosion and a fire breaks out in the engineering compartment. Filbert, there's a fire that's broken out right in front of you.
Let go of the holes.
I will continue using control water and engulf the fire
flames?
with. Yep.
Okay. So you do that, and you guys in the helm hear Hazani yelling from the front of the ship. She just starts screaming. She is screaming her head off as the ship now turns and it almost pulls a right angle, and it feels like it's being pulled straight into the maelstrom.
Great. Is she screaming for help?
No, she's just screaming.
Okay. All right. Well, we don't have time for that. So,
Mav's gonna make his way down to Hazani, see what's going on.
Mav, there is a giant shape coming towards the ship.
Like, what kind of a shape?
Well, it kind of looks like the ship a little bit, but this looks like it's alive. It's got really big eyes and a giant clacking beak and some really long tentacles.
Interesting.
if we're going
Like-
fast enough, we might pierce it like a bullet and be fine.
Like, how far away is that thing?
It's make dexterity saving throws far away as the tentacles wrap around the ship, and like right alongside the beak, you watch two more eyes open up, and one of them is just staring into the ship.
Mav doesn't like this and is gonna kind of shoot at it.
Okay.
Do you want us all to make dex saves?
Yeah.
Wait, you're gonna shoot at it? Aren't we in the
Yeah.
submarine?
Well, yeah, but there's a hole where Hazani is.
Wait, are we above water?
No, you're not above water.
No.
I missed the part where you said there's a hole.
There's no hole, but Hazani went down here to take care of the water that is leaking in from the front of the ship.
Oh, I get it.
So-
I get it.
There isn't a hole, but you can... How does that work with spells? Can you shoot through glass, or does the spell impact on glass?
Depending on the spell, if it's a ray spell, then it goes through. But if it's like a save, it's on.
Casting Guiding Bolt?
Yeah. So it's going through the glass.
Yeah, if you do this, you're going to smash the glass. Is that what you're doing?
Like, how much of the glass? Like, does Hazani have the water under control?
She can only do that spell a couple of times. It's not like Filbert who's controlling it. She just makes a big patch of it disappear.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's like, don't poke more holes in the ship, please.
Well, then it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, it has failed its dexterity saving throw. What are you going to do to it?
A little bit of radiant damage.
Okay, so you blast it with this thing, and this eyeball turns and it looks right at you. And it does not look happy. As the ship changes direction again, let's see, who failed the dexterity saving throw? Ooh, nobody. Nobody did. And this time it is lurched upwards. And
Thanak might have. Thanak might have failed with
I
an
rolled
8.
an 8. That didn't fail.
Oh, I thought everybody rolled over a 12.
No.
Thanak, you take 7 points of damage then.
Okay.
And then this one,
Polka dots and flares and
Mav's got a 5.
What?
no.
No.
Oh, you're trying. Yes, you are not intimidated by it. You do not
He is not
intimidate
intimidated.
the sea monster.
The crew that is like that man the guns.
Yeah.
Is that like a specific gun crew, or is it just other crew
Paper for you and your
who are
It's-
busy doing other things?
It's other crew members that just do stuff. So, yeah, they're basically point and shoot harpoon guns.
Okay. I guess my question is would they, if people go man the guns, would they be taking away from patching holes?
Yes, that is the only reason they haven't shot this thing yet, and the fact that it just showed up.
Right.
Mav is going to relocate to a gun.
Okay, you start running for a gun. Everybody else needs to still make those dexterity saving throws. Mav,
Another one?
yeah, because the creature is now yanking the ship upwards.
Oh,
That's not enough.
nope.
Not enough.
Jeez.
That's enough. Silbert is still just walking around the side of
Yeah.
the ship. It's like, I don't know what's going on here. You all take 4 points of damage this time. As you,
I can
everybody-
only imagine that Phil's hands are he's just got his hand in his pocket whistling.
It's definitely a cartoon. So Mav, I need you. Actually, I'm making an attack roll on you. You go to man a gun, and a 22, I'm sure, hits you.
Yes.
As a black tentacle lashes out from Halcoin and tells you to leave his friend alone.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
And you take 3 points of damage as this thing slaps you.
Okay. Did I hear that? Like, was I? Because I was close enough. I was close enough.
Yeah,
to hear
everybody in the control room would have heard that. And
Matt will just be like, never mind, guys.
Yeah.
False alarm.
Yeah.
hold on, I'm going to close
Okay.
my window. My neighbor's mowing his lawn.
Okay. All right. Cool. So our resident warlock is an Aquaman.
So, the ship continues to be pulled upwards and away from the maelstrom. The violence of the shaking peters out some. There's this really weird move and pulse and yanking thing as this creature drags the ship up towards the surface. And after 2-3 minutes, you don't feel the pull of the maelstrom anymore. And you... You're healing the Kraken. That's really funny. So the ship is brought up to the surface, and the sailors, once it's out of the pull of the maelstrom, the Kraken lets go, and the sailors surface the ship, and everybody goes about repairs. They've got the leaks under control, and Halcoin asks if he can exit at the top of the ship, if it's safe to go out there. And Lulu tells him yes. And so he climbs up the mast column and leaves the ship.
What's he doing?
Will follow him?
You can follow him if you want.
Yeah, I'll ask him if I should follow. I'll ask him if I should follow.
He said he would love to introduce you to his patron.
Oh, absolutely. I'm coming with, and I'm bringing Tabby and Albert.
Yeah,
I'll go with two.
Yeah, I think we'll all go with.
You guys go with, and there's like a bunch of other sailors standing around the ladder going, should we go out there? And they're like, no, it's going to eat us. And they're like, well, they're going out there. There's this discussion, and you guys just start to plot out there. And you get out there, and you see Hal, and he is wrapped up in several of these things, tentacles, and it's holding him, and he's having a conversation with it. He's thanking it for coming. And it strokes his head with one of his tentacles, And it's like, whatever did you do? Why ever did you come here? What are you doing?
I'll translate to everybody.
You
Just
know
in case.
how dangerous this could be. And he says he had no choice. They're going to save a friend. And so they have this conversation about going to save their friends. And it says, well, I'm not welcome past the maelstrom, so I won't be able to help you out, but I can get you past here. And he thanks it.
Sorry, what does he mean?
What does who mean?
What does he mean he's not welcome past the maelstrom?
Hal says he would tell you later, but basically in a nutshell, the Krakens are at war with one another, and they don't go out of their own territory.
Okay.
So if this Kraken were to cross the border, it would immediately start a fight.
Oh.
Yep. And so they're real
Can
close.
we get the Kraken's name?
The Kraken's name is Turson the Deepcaller.
Yeah. Does Lulu know this one?
I don't think so. I don't think Lulu was on that ship.
I thought she was.
No, that was the Carnival ship. Maybe. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think she was.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So, Hal thanks Turson, and the Kraken asks if there's anything else she can help with before she goes.
Does it know where the maelstrom goes?
She says to the other side.
And I will accept that as a truthful answer. That was very helpful.
Mav would like to just apologize to the Kraken for the misunderstanding.
A tentacle kind of comes up from behind you, and it wraps itself around your face, and it wags its tentacle tip at you, and you hear in your mind that you should ask before you shoot.
Can I shoot you?
Friend or foe!
Be clear of your target.
That's Hunter Safety 101.
It is.
Mav would just reply, he's not used to sea creatures friendly attack or grappling onto a ship.
The Kraken will admit, Turson will admit that it is an odd situation, and she understands why you were confused. Luckily, you barely hurt her at all.
Yes.
So she pulls the ship a good ways away, and on the side of the maelstrom you want to, for the most part, be on, and lets you go and submerges.
Alright. Bye, Turson.
Oh,
Yeah, what?
does it live here? Is this where it lives?
Yes, it now has a small territory on the northwest side of the maelstrom.
Would it know if a ship passed through here recently?
She says one passed through the Spear Sea, but not through the maelstrom area.
Okay.
She did say one got pulled into the maelstrom on the other side not too long ago. Like 2 days ago.
Do we think that might have been the ship we're looking for?
No. Orange ship would have made it through here like days ago.
Okay.
Because
that's all.
It was on the other side of the whirlpool when you guys were still in Thivis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But Turson would tell you that they get pulled into here all the time. People are crazy. They're always trying to get past here.
Okay. Cool. All right, onward.
So you
get the
guys,
ship fixed up and
yep, you sail above the water for a while, trying to get the ship repaired. It's easier to make repairs there. Some of them have to happen from the outside or just over under the water. So it's definitely easier to do that on the surface. And you sail another day that way. And then the captain lets everybody know that they need to have their potions at the ready because they're about to go through the Sea of Spears, which is... There's another sea that you guys are familiar with over near Chamsburg called the Fang Sea, and it's the same kind of coral. The coral that grows here, it grows extraordinarily fast, to the point where it grows sometimes 200-300 feet in a second or two. It has rapid growth spurts. Theory is that the ancients a long time ago tried to enhance coral to grow quicker since it's normally such a slow-growing creature so that it could survive some of the pollution that was going on, and the genetic enhancements went awry, and now it just hyper-grows. And they call it this because it grows in spears that shoot up out of the water, often piercing boats, and then crumble and fall back into the sea.
that's awesome.
It is one of the natural boundaries that kept the Chamsburg crater isolated for so long. And here's another patch of this stuff that is on the north end of the Maelstrom. Although this is not nearly as dangerous for you all because you can submerge and see it growing. So it's easier to avoid when you're on the surface. You can't see it coming.
Is it a creature?
It's a plant or whatever a coral is. I believe a coral's technically a plant.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure.
I mean, coral is a collection of dead
marine invertebrates.
Invertebrates.
Oh,
Yes.
so it's an actual creature.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if I could speak with it. Speak with beasts or speak with plants and animals.
I would say no because even if it is an invertebrate and it is a creature, I'm guessing it does not have an intelligence.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It also doesn't have a mouth.
What?
So even if it does has an intelligence, unless it's intelligent enough to speak psychically, it would have no way to communicate back to you.
Pheromones.
So I need
Yeah, but you don't speak pheromone.
each of you to make a D20 luck roll as the ship maneuvers through the Coral Sea.
Can I cast Bless on this?
You cannot cast Bless on a luck roll. It's spinning.
Jesus.
Dang
spinning.
it, stupid button.
It's still spinning. Holy cow.
Yep.
That was a good spin. 13.
Oh.
All right. Those are all just good enough. Just good enough. That 5 was really pushing the luck.
I wanted it.
There
I
are
wanted
2
it.
chutes that come up near the end of the voyage that get very close to the ship. And you hear Lulu mumbling something about theoretically this is supposed to be easier. And it just doesn't seem like she had a much easier time with it. The ship cranks and lurches both ways, both times, as it cruises through the underwater area. And eventually you move past the sea, and you're told you're probably within a day of the shoreline at this point.
Alright.
All right. So you're getting close. Is there any last-minute stuff you want to do on the ship?
Take a rest.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Take a rest. Do you need me to apply one?
There was no other repairs that were needed.
Not anything the crew couldn't handle. All right. So you guys are in your bunks, going into the last day, and you go to sleep pretty late so you'll be awake and fresh when you go to make shore. So you're about trying to pace it out like that, and you get about 7 hours into your rest, and the warning klaxons begin to go off again. And then all of a sudden, the ship shakes super violently. And I need dexterity saving throws from you as you guys are tossed from your beds.
Mav was ready for this.
What is that noise?
Yeah, what is that noise?
Sounds like something's shaking.
Something hitting a fan or something.
It sounds like a computer fan.
But we can all hear it.
It's Andy.
Andy just muted himself and it was his.
It's Andy. Andy's making noises.
Is it a fan? Is that better?
Yep, that's better.
It's my computer fan. You are hearing my computer fan.
That's so funny. Filbert, this one you are definitely not ready for. You and Thanak are pitched straight onto the floor, onto your face. Oh, nope, you do not poof. You will each take 6 points of damage as you're tossed from your bunk. And that's when you guys hear the sound. It is... You've heard the sound of the water now rushing through the pipe, so it's a little familiar to you, but the volume of this is completely unfamiliar to you. And just as you two stand up, the entire room blasts in with water. And you guys are flushed about your room, and I need another dexterity saving throw from you. Ooh, and that 20. That's a fail. That's a fail. And that's a success. So, I just rolled 3 ones on a d6. You lucky ducks. On 3d6. So, if you succeeded, you took 1 point of damage. If you failed, you take 3 points of damage. We'll chalk this up to you still have a little bit of time left on Phil's water breathing from yesterday because you went to bed earlier than you normally would. But the entire compartment is flooded.
How big is the compartment?
The room that you're in, it's probably like 7 by 10. It's skinny.
Oh, that's not big at all.
No, you're in a submarine. Nothing's big. Even using the phrase 10 is generous.
Yeah. I will destroy the water.
Okay. You cast your spell and destroy the water, and across the hall you see the same thing happening in Hazani's room, and immediately it just rushes right back in. And the ship is being pulled up out of the water. It's rising up out of the water. You can feel it doing that as the current pulls you towards the floor.
Can I drink my potion?
You can, but Phil's water breathing will last longer.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I'm just going to go swim through the water.
Okay, you swim through the water and make a perception check for me at advantage, because it's really hard to miss what's going on, and I just want to... Oh, there, nice, nat 20. The other roll wasn't too shabby either. So, yeah, 31. You can see that the ship has been ripped in half. It's broken in half.
Oh, no.
The whole front end of the ship is missing.
Well,
Hey guys!
And
We got a Titanic situation.
And Mav, with it, I'd say a 31 perception check, squinting through the water, and it must be early day out there. The light's filtering through. You can see the other half of the ship, and there is a giant arm holding it.
That's not good. Is it like of a giant man who roams the sea?
Well, what do you want to do? You're in the hallway. You're looking at this.
Well, I'm going to maneuver a little bit closer to see if I can see what's happening.
Okay. You try and get a little bit closer. It's hard for you because of the way that the water is being flushed into your chambers. You see some of the other sailors who are back here asleep, and your other crew members.
Are they still asleep?
No, nobody is still asleep. You see the crew members chugging their potions. Your people are okay, and so everybody's just kind of moving around in this back end where it's mostly storage in quarters as the first ship pulls up out of the water, and yours is coming up out of the water, and you can see, and there is clearly a giant among giants there. He's covered in he's green-skinned and wearing huge, like, seaweedy looking drapings and clothings. His hair looks like it's made of seaweed. He's got this big, long, gnarly beard that's full of, like, crustaceans and stuff like that. And he picks up the other side of the ship, the command side of the ship, and he's got you guys kind of hanging down, and he begins to move away from out of the water, and now you're looking up into the sky.
I'm going to yell as loud as I can. Excuse me, sir. We need that half.
You don't think he can hear you under the water, but I suppose if you want to make a roll.
Oh, we're still under the water?
You're in the water. He's holding your half of the ship kind of like you'd hold a cup.
Can I get to like the top of the cup?
Yeah, sure. You can swim up to the top of the cup. And then
I'll yell.
Make a constitution check for volume. I don't know. I think that's as close as I can get for this. Another 20. You are seriously loud.
You orate very well.
I'm going to ask Tabby if she'd be kind enough to cast Fly on me.
Is that a spell that's in her wheelhouse?
Yeah, pixies have that polymorph and entangle and a bunch of other ones.
She says, "I'll think about it."
Yep. I had a feeling. I had a feeling.
So,
that's awesome.
This giant looks over at you, sticking up out of it, and he swirls the submarine around. Mav, make a dexterity saving throw for me. Everybody else is just being slooshed around. It almost tosses you out. It's like he's doing that thing like somebody would with a wine glass. And then he brings it up to his face. And he smells it. And then he opens his mouth and he begins to pour it in.
I will use control water and keep all of the water in the cup.
Like, are you creating a physical barrier, or are we coming out?
I can physically control where the water goes, so
yeah, but gravity still works, so we'll just pull out of the water.
Gravity doesn't work when I'm controlling the water.
He can force the water up.
Yeah.
So the flow is actually upside down, so that we are being pushed up.
Okay, you can do that.
Not into his mouth. That's all that it matters.
The giant starts to shake it, and he's just really confused. He puts it back down, and now that you're close to this giant, he's big, and normally the bigger a giant gets, the smarter they get. This does not seem to be the case.
I'm just going to yell again and ask him now.
He kind of puts you guys back down to the side, and now the cup is just hanging sideways, and you're about 10 feet above the ocean. And he's moving towards the island. You can now see landmass, just not far away.
How close is not far away? Like,
quarter mile.
We're going to die trying to swim, or...
Quarter mile.
It's a quarter mile, and you have water breathing, so you'd probably be all right.
I will yell out in giant, "Ho, friend!"
Ho, friend. Hold on. There's other things the giant is doing before you get to Ho, friend, because you just cast a spell. He takes the other side of the submarine, and he tries to shake that one into his mouth, and he's not being careful with it because of what happened with you, so it kind of just blooshes him right in the face. and you see sailors like pouring off to the side and like tumbling off down into the ocean, and you do watch as Leaky Wheel and Crank go straight into the giant's mouth.
Oh.
So I have 300 feet on that spell, and it lasts for 10 minutes. I don't know that I would have seen that, though, because I don't know what he did with our...
Well, you guys, I don't think... Yeah, you would have seen him.
Okay.
But that does take it off of yours.
Right, but he's not trying to dump us into his mouth. I'm okay with us being dumped into the ocean.
Okay.
I don't want anyone dumped into the big goober's face.
All right, so...
How high up in the air are we?
You're only about 10 feet off the ocean floor.
Yeah.
Or off the surface of the water.
Say again, how far?
10 feet above the surface of the water.
Oh, how tall is this guy?
This guy's about 140 feet tall.
Oh, so right now the way he's holding us, we're just not very far off the ground.
Correct. He's up to his knees in the water, and then you guys
Okay.
are just dangling down above that.
Okay.
He's real big. He's huge. He's beyond huge. He's colossal.
Colossal.
Okay.
This is terrifying.
Is that what
I
you're
don't
doing,
like
Filbert?
this.
Are you switching your spell?
Yeah,
targets?
I mean, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the concentration on it.
So
still,
here's what's about to happen. All
then
of
we're
you
gonna-
are about to be sucked out and dumped into the ocean. Does anybody want to try and stay on the submarine, or are you going with the water?
No, let's,
Going into the ocean.
yeah.
All right. So your whole side of the submarine gets sucked out and dumped into the ocean as the giant's now trying to dump this other side into his face, and he's just super confused. And then he brings up the other one, and he looks at it, and it's gone. And so he just chucks it out into the he chucks it towards the island, and this thing just goes.
Can I just make a question real quick?
Sure.
We just woke up. Do we have all our stuff?
It is now scattered about the ocean floor below you.
I mean, like our armor and our weapons, and
Yeah, it looked like
is all of that.
Yeah, it all just got washed out and dumped into the area right below you. So
Okay. All right. That's
Yeah.
better than like being locked in a closet now 100 miles away. All right.
On the other side of the earth after being
Right.
footballed.
It's back in Illinois.
and so then he turns the other side upside down and he shakes it a few more times and just does that thing. He just pitches it over his shoulder and it blooshes down into the water. And you watch as he just walks into the interior of the island, just stomping away.
All right. Guys, we just met King Kong.
That was beautiful.
Good job not getting eaten by the giant.
Yeah.
I mean, 4th level spells will do that. Good grief, that was entertaining. I'm in the water, so I'm just gonna turn into an aquatic animal, and start collecting our stuff.
Okay.
I'll turn into an octopus.
Cool. Everybody else is swimming for shore. You did manage to save the entire other half of the crew, who is now swimming to shore as well. So Leaky Wheel and Crank are not consumed by the giant.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Proper use of medicine.
Yeah, and everybody's watching this thing. You can see this guy walking away and feel him walking away for, 5-10 minutes.
Oh,
Can we dive for our stuff?
Oh, Filbert already
just-
turned into something and picked it up. He said he
Yeah.
was gonna...
Okay, I missed that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he aquatic animaled and picked all that stuff up.
I will
Perfect.
transport it.
So you guys are collecting yourselves on the shore, and everybody's there. All 10 of the Wave Crest crew members and all 10 of your people as well.
All right.
I think I deserve a medal. I can't say that. I'm an octopus. So I'll just flap my tentacles at everyone victoriously. Slurping. So where are we? Oh, I guess I'll-
where's the captain?
Lulu tells you that this should be the westernmost island of Bulriar.
Okay. So we seem to be where we are supposed to be.
Yep. And Othig looking around and paying attention to where things are at, he would definitely confirm that with where you were and the way things were described, this should be it. And what do you guys want to do? You're on a beach. There are giant footprints leading into the island. Big swath through the trees that he's cut.
We should probably use the orb to find out if we can see Orin and crew again. We don't see the remnants of their boat anywhere around.
Not from here, you don't.
We should. Well, the first thing we should do is get off the beach. We should probably find. We should probably do everything we can to get off the beach, so we're not easy targets, and maybe try to create some sort of
Yes.
temporary home base. At least.
Yes.
How far is the whole place like giant, or is like everything normal size? Just that guy's just a giant.
Everything looks pretty normal size, and that guy's just the giant. And from the look of the area, it doesn't look like he's here often, because otherwise the trees would be just decimated.
Right.
It looks like he might have, hopefully, just been passing through. And I'm going to give you that because of Othig's Nat 20 perception check. So I won't make you re-roll that. But yeah, with the amount of destruction he made cutting back across the island, he can't be here often.
Okay. So let's try. How far away is the tree?
It's 50 yards off the shoreline.
Okay. So why don't we head to the forest, the tree line?
Sure.
And yeah.
We currently don't have anything in the way of defensiveness, right?
Just your personal gear. That
can we use some of the trees that he knocked out of the way and possibly some carpenter points to fortify a position?
Yeah, you guys can start building a shelter. Because he has already created lumber to some degree for you. Filbert, Lulu would want to know if you would be so kind as to go back into the water where he dropped their half of the ship and collect any more gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can take her with if she'd like. If she wants to point out anything specific, because she has water breathing right now.
Oh gosh, what did we do to initialize this for?
Oh,
they are just emergency potions.
I turn around for 3 minutes and we're doing disc 4. What's going on?
We're building a shelter.
Okay. Yeah, I will head back into the water. I'll turn back into an octopus, and I will go grab as much stuff from their half of the ship. Can I wouldn't be able to drag their half of the ship, would I?
No, it's 80 feet long.
Okay. So yeah, I'll go acquire their things.
Okay. So you go back and you start running salvage operations back and forth, and you manage to get a good chunk of gear. However, most of the supplies were locked away in the back half of the ship that was chucked. Stuff that was in your personal rooms got washed out, but yeah, so your food, your rations, any sort of emergency supplies, all that was hucked.
Okay.
So you're able to gather up enough stuff to outfit people for survival. You guys are outfitted with what you brought, but everybody else is.
So do we personally have our rations, or are all the rations?
You would personally have your own packs. So if you packed rations, you'd have them. Okay. If you were counting on packing rations once you got to your destination, then they'd be gone.
Okay.
Yep. And Hazani and I can create food.
Yep.
So
that's true.
With good dairy and stuff.
So yeah, I mean, I think the first thing is to, since our ship is gone, is to create some type of
shelter.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me some checks as you guys start to use your skills. Tinkering works. Smithing does not work. Woodworking definitely works. Alchemy does not.
Can I use some of those points into this?
Filbert is going to dig a tunnel.
Mike, can I do a strength to chop down wood?
You wouldn't need to chop much down because the giants already knocked over tons of the forest. It's a matter of hauling trees over, but some of the branches are big enough to do that. So Mav, you make quite a few, good movements into building a shelter. You guys build pretty quickly.
How many times do you want us to roll?
Just a handful, 3, 4.
Oh,
I'm just watching about how the average is going through, and now there's too much average. Counting, they're all in the mid-teens and a couple in the upper. You guys managed to put together a pretty quick lean-to that everybody kind of huddles under, and it covers enough space. You take some of the other sticks and you make some defensive fencing and barricades that stick out to prevent anything else coming. So, and while you're doing that, Marilee uses the scrying orb, and while she's using it, she sees their ship, and it is washed up on a beach. And because with scrying you can turn and have it go 360 degrees, she sees the back of the giant going back into the ocean.
It's on the other side of the island.
So we need to just follow the path the giant took.
Yeah.
To the other side of the island.
Or take the shoreline, because the ship is on the beach. But she definitely can confirm, unless there's more of these guys walking around, that Orin and Grummy's ship is on this island.
I will send Albert up to do a quick little surveillance to see if I can get an eye on that ship.
Okay.
And an eye on the size of the island.
To also see if there's any more of those giants.
Sure, I will also.
I can only assume that there's more than one. The question is whether or not they're all here. I mean, like as a race, he can't just exist by himself.
Sure you can. Immortals.
I mean, you do it.
No, I'm a family man. We do this all together.
I'm talking about Adam, not.
Well, yeah. All right. I'll take that one.
Make a perception check for Owlbert as he takes off. How do you want him to go across the island, or across the island?
I was just going to have him kind of spiral up, so I could get a top-down view.
Okay.
A bird's eye view, as it were.
Yeah, that. 23.
He starts to head up, and just after he breaks the tree line, he sees something else break the tree line, making a beeline for him. It is a large feathered reptile with a really long tail, and it looks like it has a stinger on the end of it.
Oh, he's going to come straight back towards me so I can poof him to me.
So you're going to lead the wyvern to us?
Yes.
Great.
So everybody else watches as
yet.
this creature buzzes out across the tops of the trees and over the beach while you're all standing in the tree line, and it's kind of almost like nobody rushes to move, but everybody kind of steps to the side behind a tree. Or they're under the lean-to.
As you're doing this, is your intent to bring it to us so that, what are you doing?
I don't want my bird to get eaten.
Yeah, there's no like tactical thought in this. It's just retreat.
And then we had Adam's rule of let's kill it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm asking. Like, are we going to do this? Because then we should get prepared to make some sneak attacks on it. Or
guys, Thanik has an extremely question.
What?
Is all the rum gone?
It's all in the supplies, yeah.
Nah.
But why is the rum gone?
Skoog and Raki are going to be so depressed.
How
They've
are we
already
supposed
built
to
a still.
cook?
What am I saying?
They're actually already off to the side, like, asking each other how much they personally have left. And you hear both of them say, none.
I don't know.
I feel like we should roll initiative because somebody fired a shot.
I was just about to suggest that. So let's roll initiative.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a warning shot.
Yeah.
Wow, guys.
Hey, Mike, I was asking about that preparing an attack. Will I get to do?
What? No, because Mav just hauled off and wailed on it, or attempted to.
Okay.
Hold on, guys. I didn't do any map setup this week. I didn't realize that till right now.
That's
While you're doing that comes from a family of ale makers. and she's with us. So she's on ale making duty.
And you asked me why I asked you what she's doing.
Hey,
How dare you?
Just because I remember what the characters' backgrounds are doesn't mean that I,
Likely story.
But it's merely bronze beer. She makes bronze beer.
Her family did run a distillery and an inn in the Empire.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, so that weapon of banishment that can take the form of any weapon no smaller than a short sword.
Yep.
Do I have to know what the weapon is?
I would say no. You can imagine it in your mind. You might need to practice with something like that before you're proficient with it, but...
So if I know what the weapon is, I can definitely make it into that?
Yeah, because you're a fighter, so you're good. You do stuff like that.
You understand weapons.
How big of a weapon are we talking?
Polearm size. I mean, you're not making it into a ballista. If that's what you're after.
That's exactly what I was after.
I guess that's a question. Could you make it into a ranged weapon? I mean, you could, but
yes.
But would it...
You could turn it into a ranged weapon.
Then could I also turn it into my longbow of penetrating force, or would it have to just be a...
No, it's a longbow +1 at that point, but it would have the banishing trait to it.
I'm definitely using it as longbow initially for this first attack, then before it gets into melee.
Okay.
Do you have any arrows? Oh, yeah, you do, from the bow, yeah.
Bold of you to assume it's not already in melee.
Yeah.
Alright, so after the guiding bolt goes blasting out, this thing pays attention to it, and it swoops down and it's coming in for an attack at you guys on the edge of the forest. You also hear 3 more shrieks, and you see others that are coming down through the trees on the other side that are attacking the rest of your crew encamped in the area. So go ahead and position yourselves in the tree line. I will drop my 2 wyverns in the fight here. And so everybody else is busy dealing with their own wyverns, and you guys.
Mav, you can just stay out there. Mav runs out into the sand, casts spells, and turns around, and we're all like, "What are you doing, buddy?"
Being very
no fight here.
You guys, you're not in squares. No one's in a square.
Oh, that's right.
My monsters aren't in squares either, though. I told you to put yourself somewhere.
Oh, I didn't. Yep.
Who's spinning me? There. Oh my gosh. It's Bill, I bet.
Really your own fault.
Probably.
Just say.
All right, Filbert, you are up first.
Are these things actually as far away as they look right now?
Yes, they're swooping in. They're about 5 feet off the ground, coming in low and heading right towards you.
Wonderful. I'm going to move out here, and I'm going to get past their approach, and I'm going to thunder wave them in the direction they are going.
So you're going to slingshot them into the sun.
Yep. And I'm going to cast that at 2nd level.
Can we do like a team up where you thunderwave them directly into my hammer?
I mean, we might get a synergy if we pull that off, so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to thunderwave them at Thana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you applying their saving throws, or do you want me to roll them?
I was just about to do that.
I'll go for it then.
It looks like they both succeed.
Yep.
So they will both take reduced damage. Oh, I need to fix that. Do that and push the button. Oh, pow! Blap.
Nice. I'm going to open my window back up now. It's getting hot in here.
Andy, by all means, get comfortable.
Hey, you like one of your French girls.
Hey, man, I think he is.
What's happening?
Harassment is happening.
Not the reaction I was expecting.
It was exactly the reaction I was expecting.
Oh, that was great.
What happened?
Oh man!
Dude just wants to recline in his chair.
Oh,
Bye.
Bye, Andy. I did that. I blew them up, and then I'm going to run back this way. And with my bonus action,
do you have enough movement to do all that?
I moved
Probably
to
only
here
moved like
from next
30
to Thanak, so 5, 10, 15,
That's
20,
30.
25.
Or 25, depending on where you were, yeah.
Oh, you know what? I will just I'll wait there and hope that their forward momentum carries them towards Thanak.
Yeah. So that doesn't make them move at all.
No,
Like,
it would
Because
have
they
had
both
failed.
succeeded. Yeah,
Okay.
but neither one of them failed.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
All right.
How deep is the water right here?
It's shoreline, so the waves are splashing in on it.
Okay, I guess I'll just move there then. And I will make an attack with my hammer.
Oh, big
Oh.
open it up hard.
Good start. Jeez. Oh. Wow.
Oh.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. I feel good about that.
That your
All
turn?
right. Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, so Wyvern 1 is going to continue to zoom in, and it's coming after Mav, who shot at it.
I tried, Mav.
It is going to attack him with a bite.
I can hit him from there, right?
Get out of here.
You can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Mav, I just crit you with a bite. I'm really sorry.
Ow.
Got him.
As Othic moves to cover you. So,
Oh.
and then it's going to attempt to get you with its claws.
Get out of here.
And it will.
Oh.
And then it's going to swing its stinger at you. It's going to hit you with the stinger.
Yeah! That's right.
And it just barely misses you. Othic, you may now whap it in the face. Nope.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
you did hit it.
Oh.
My gosh. Barely, I'm guessing.
No.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's its AC. You just barely hit it.
Yeah.
Wait, after the first one, can I use my ring of shifting to shift 5 feet backwards on that crit?
Yeah, you can.
Nice.
5 feet backwards. I mean, I'm assuming he closed the distance,
Yeah, he would have come closer.
but that would have returned 25 of the hit points.
Would it have? 'Cause
No,
you can
he still would have hit you.
No, because it negates the attack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right, it does.
Negates the attack.
Yep, cool. So you can have your hit points
Good
back,
idea.
and then he misses with his tail.
do.
Awesome. Good call. All right.
Don't worry, I'll never use it.
All right, Thanak. Wyvern 2 is coming after you,
Almost didn't use it.
and it's going to miss you with its bite.
Okay.
Oh, oh. Hold on, I just accidentally dragged my combat tracker around.
Combine tractor.
And it's going to get you with the claws.
Okay.
And then the stinger's coming. That's going to get you with the stinger, too.
Okay.
And
I love that you guys asked, is it your intention to lead it back? No. Okay, we're going to attack it.
Yeah.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as poison races through your dwarven body. And it still hurts. It's a great saving throw. It still hurts. You're only going to take 14 points of poison damage.
That's already halved.
That is already halved.
So so it's quartered is what I mean.
No, I halved it from the roll, so you will take 7 because you're resistant.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Mav, it's your turn.
Well, Mav is going to disengage. And just try to get out of there. Actually, we're not going that far. We're just going here.
Right on.
How long has it been since the giant attack?
Oh, several hours. Because you built the shelter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's going to bonus that potion.
Got him.
So
That's all he shall do.
Make it Othig's turn then.
Cool.
And I'm guessing Othig's going to run in and hit stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Right about there, actually. And I'm gonna continue to attack Wyvern numero uno.
Nice hit.
And a 1.
Nice.
And a 2.
Nat 20.
Yeah!
Finish it!
It is native to the plane. It ain't going anywhere. Dude, you did clobber it hard, though.
Pretty good. Hang on. I'm going to action.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Nice.
Put a little bit more damage into it. You get one more attack and a butt swing still.
Yep. And then I am going to parry.
Okay. I'm going to raise your armor class by 3 this round.
Yep.
Until the start of your next turn.
Yep. Sounds good.
Filbert!
Hi. I am going to start a fire under this one. Because that sounds like fun. It fails, so the fire is there, and it will continue to take damage if it ends its turn there.
Okay.
How does that work?
Which one did you put that on? Number 2?
Yeah, Wyvern 2.
Okay.
And then I am going to turn into a giant elk.
Giant elk it is. Wyvern looks very confused by your transformation.
Mm-hmm. I assume
It looks
so.
hungrier or something.
I was to say, but it looks tasty.
But I am bigger than it now, and that's all I really care.
All right.
How big is this thing?
They're large,
It's large.
and
Okay.
a giant elk is huge.
Well, I meant for me
Oh.
grappling it.
No, it's large.
So I can grapple one size larger than myself, right?
Is
that what it is?
So? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Seeing the fire, I'm gonna try to grapple it and keep it from moving away from that.
Okay. So you use one of your actions to make a grapple attempt?
Yeah. Oh.
No. Well, I got to roll against it, but I'm going to say no.
Roll 1.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. You grab it around the neck.
Got him.
Well, I have a +6 as well, and I rolled a 3, so...
Oh man, that's so lame. I will.
It's squawking like a Canadian goose when you grab it around the neck. It's all like... "Har, har."
Can I just quick switch to my spear since that's one-handed?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. And do I have advantage on it, right? Because I'm grappling it.
No, that's
only if it's
restrained.
Oh, restrained. No, I mean. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay, so I'll just make it attack. Oh, that's gonna miss.
Nope. Unfortunately, you miss.
All right.
At least you're consistent.
It's flopping around too much.
Okay.
All right.
But he's held, so he can't move.
Yep. He is movement speed is 0. So this one is going to attempt to attack Othig. Othig, is your armor, extra 3 armor programmed in, or is it just...
I don't program it in only because I don't know what it's going to do, but it's currently 20.
Okay. That will miss. So it goes to bite you and it misses. It goes to claw at you and it misses. And then the stinger comes flying out. And that's going to hit you. So that's a 26 to hit. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you are stabbed with poison. You do have advantage on this.
Come on, save.
That's enough. So you will take 1/4 of 7d6 poison damage. 13.
Jeez.
He'll take 6 poison damage.
If it was a critical, shouldn't it be more than that? It can't be 7.
He said 1/4.
Yeah, but it can't be 7 dice if it's critical.
It wasn't critical.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a critical.
Mm-mm.
I thought the 26 hit me as a crit. 29. Never mind. Ignore me.
Okay.
We try.
I had a 19. So it was close. Alright, and then the other wyvern is going to continue to attack Thanok. It's mad that he's holding it.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
The Canadian goose is upset.
Alright, that 18 is going to get you. So he's going to get you with the claws.
Okay.
So it kind of rears back. It can't get its bite on you. It's banging its head around against you, but then pushing against you, its claws get pretty good positioning. And then the stinger zips around the other side. And that's going to miss as well. That's going to be a 10. So you're in just way too awkward of a position for it to get to you.
He might stab himself.
Mav.
Mav is going to... Why is that?
Wyvern 2.
Oh, it's attacking me too.
Damage. Because it stayed where it is.
Why did that... Okay, well, the 18 hit it.
Okay.
I don't know why it also attacked me.
Are you targeted?
No, I wasn't.
That's weird.
Yeah. So he's going to do that. And then... do that. And tell his brother to go get him. Champ.
I saw you throw the bonfire damage on it.
Yes.
Cool. Othig.
Yep.
I still haven't figured out how to actually apply those things, but I know there's a way that if I use the right button, it'll actually apply it. And if it stays in the square that it's in, it'll take damage.
I don't know if there is a way to do that.
I was just watching a tutorial on it. I don't remember how to do it.
So Othig begins to crank into this wyvern with his 2 shots, puts it down.
And then
Good job, buddy.
my bonus action to parry again.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take my butt swing on Wyvern 2.
Okay. You will smack it again.
Let's see.
All right.
That should actually be one more.
Okay. There we go. Adjusted. And then anything else?
Nope.
Cool. Filbert.
Giant Elkbert is going to rear up on his back hooves, and he's going to smack this thing with his hooves.
Nice.
Yes. Acidy, bludgeoning goodness.
All right. Yeah, you hit it hard.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. And then I will just kind of like dance around a little bit because I like being an elk. And that'll end my turn.
I like being an
That'll get it.
I don't get it.
Y'all getting it?
Oh, really?
Oh,
He's not getting it. Not with that.
he's not getting it.
Oof.
Let's try it again.
There it is.
That's a little better.
That's better.
Hey, did
And
you?
that's my turn.
I should ask you this right away. Did you want to maintain your grapple on it?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you got to make a new attack roll for that every round.
Do I? I thought that stayed until he makes.
I get to attempt to get out. You are correct. Never mind.
Okay. All right. So yeah, If he wants to try to get out, then he's gonna have to wrestle me for it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wrestle me for it.
Yeah.
Need you to DDT this
He
guy.
doesn't. Had he not just gotten clobbered so bad that last round, he might have, but he does not. So he is going to hit you with his bite this time
Okay.
for 14 points of damage. Then I'm going to drag my combat tracker around the room again. That's cool. I can tell my computer's running a little bit slow because it does stuff like that. And then he is going to clobber you again with his claws this time.
Okay.
So he bites you, and as he's bit into your shoulder, he just kicks his claws back at you and tears you up for another 11. And then the Stinga is a nat 1.
Oh.
Nice.
So with a recovery.
Does he? Oh, he does. Okay.
Yep.
I was hoping that he would stab himself in the.
Man.
Mav is going to shoot.
Boom.
Nice.
Boom.
Bam.
Mav
Oh,
blast.
he also would have taken some fire damage.
I already
Flew through it in
did
there.
that.
But
He
he
actually
did.
went in
Okay.
there right before Andy rolled his damage. So
I see.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent.
Yep, so you dropped the other Wyvern. Now I need a D20 roll from you guys to see how your team did, and a D20 roll to see how the sailors did. Both did okay.
So 2 d20s.
Yeah, I already got them. Phil and Mav threw them out there. So your team dispatched their Wyvern without too much of a hassle. The sailors, same. Lulu just kind of tanked it the whole time, and the sailors stood back and speared it to death. So there are now 4 dead Wyverns laying on the ground.
So with the poison, Phil may know this, or maybe some of the other crewmates. How edible is this meat?
It's probably pretty edible. Filbert, somebody make a nature check. Survival.
Oh, Philbert would like to try and get some of this poison, harvest it.
Okay.
But the nature check I'll make.
Nature
to
or
find
survival.
meat is edible. Oh, alright. Do. Ooh!
That's a good idea too.
Wyvern tastes pretty bad. It's tough. It's hard to chew, but it is edible.
Well, we can maybe make some jerky out of it.
It kind of already is. So if you cook it, it is jerky.
Okay.
And then Filbert would like to harvest, if he can, some of this poison.
That's another survival check then, my friend.
Oh, man! Oh, that's alright. 23.
So good,
That is all right.
That's good.
You can harvest 4 doses of Wyvern poison.
Nice.
You do feel like it decays, though. Unless you spend some time and some crafting points to refine it. At that point, refining it, you'd have to boil it down and you'd get 1 dose, but you would have it always. You have 4 doses if you use it within the next 2 days.
Okay.
Alright. I will during our next rest take the time to refine that.
Cook her down.
All right, sounds good. So you have a 7d6 poison then. Or you will, soon enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Concentrating poison into poison of poison.
Anything else you guys would like to do?
I would like to maybe get some hits back. So.
Short rest?
No, not quite yet. Maybe if somebody, Mav, do you got a heal?
Mav. Is he stuck? Nope. I saw
No.
his move.
I think he's thinking.
Yeah.
He might be ignoring it.
I think he's mad at me because I made fun of him, and now he's.
I'm just ignoring you.
I'm trying to be comfortable. So now that we are out of this predicament, I'm going to send Albert up again, and I will, as an elk, try and find some high ground to get some eyes on stuff.
Okay.
Well, probably bring 4 more to us.
I mean, we might. We'll see.
Can we create some makeshift, like, I don't know, spear defenses to defend ourselves?
They'd already started to do that when the wyvern showed
Okay.
up, so they will continue that process definitely for sure now. They're
I
gonna.
liked Othig's statement that the wings look like they'll make good canopy.
Yeah, they definitely could be pulled off and draped over the shelter to keep rain and everything else off.
I mean, we were already making lean-tos, right? I mean,
Yep.
what better material to drape over the top?
Yeah, so they're on it. Let's see. Filbert, the trees are just tall enough to cause you a problem seeing, and this island is relatively flat.
Okay.
It rises for sure towards the center, but there's no rocky areas or outcroppings or anything like that. It's quite large, too. Make a perception check for me. Actually, make 2. One for Albert, one for you.
So first one will be Albert. And then the second one is me.
Okay. It looks like Albert, because he spent some time out there getting a scope of the land, he can come back to you and report to you that it looks to be that Orange ship is about a 2-day walk north.
Okay.
At least he can see a ruined ship on the shoreline.
Right.
But
So their ship, but not where they are, right? Because we thought we saw them in the middle of the island where the giant was walking away towards the other.
no, the giant was going back off the far side of the island back into the ocean. He walked across the island.
So
In minutes.
so where is Orin then?
On the shore, in their ship.
Oh, okay, all right. For some reason, I thought when you said what we saw, like they were in the middle of the island and were watching the giant walking towards the other side. That's what I thought you meant.
And Albert also gets a very good look at the surrounding area. This island is not part of the main continent. This is an outward island. So you guys can both now see the other part of the continent about 3 miles to the northwest. East of
Do we have that? Do we have that map?
It's the world map. I don't know if I ever shared it.
I was going to ask before, but now.
Wait, so it's a 2-day trek to the ship.
Either because you're going to have to go through the terrain of the wilderness, or you're going to have to walk around the outside of the island.
Okay. Okay.
Does there seem to be any other wyverns around?
No, they didn't spot any.
Okay.
Filbert, there are some ruins dead center of this island. They look to be pretty stinking old.
So do we want to head across the middle, or do we want to head side?
Middle will probably have more danger, but it's a quicker route.
Where are we?
You believe you are on this island right there.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Tiny little island.
Mm-hmm.
It's big enough.
Yeah. Big when you're on it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're on that west coast
Yep.
at the south part of that west coast, and they're at the north part of the west coast.
Yep. They're kind of over in the crotch where that arrow is. On the northern edge of it, though.
Okay.
Like, that's...
Yeah.
No, not there.
Yep.
No?
You got the general idea.
Yeah, okay.
Let's make our way then. Make haste.
All right. The others are going to... they don't know what to do. They don't know how we're going to get home.
We'll repair the ship.
We'll figure that out.
Can we tell them that we have another ship? We just have to go get it?
Can we lie to them?
Well, isn't Oren on a ship?
He is. It's pretty beat up, but they are on a ship.
It's still a ship.
Yeah. All right. So
I'll point to the like mangled trees and wyvern wings, and I'll say, yeah, that's still a house.
that's the question. Do we leave?
Yeah.
Do you leave them in the shelter, or do you bring them along?
I would leave them in the shelter.
Okay.
Do they want to stay in the shelter, or do they want to come with? Like, what do
They'll
they
do whatever you tell them to do.
Does there seem to be concern about leaving them?
The concern, I'd say, would be equal. You're heading into an unknown. Here, they have some defenses and they're safe, so it's neither or.
So why don't we tell them to as unappetizing as it is, we'll go out there and they can try to make some food out of these wyverns.
Yes. This is unappetizing.
Perfect. All right. So are you guys going down the beach, or are you going across the island?
Across the island wouldn't put us near the ruins that we're seeing, yes?
It would
No?
put you closer to them.
I feel like it's interesting that there's some ruins here, and probably be cool to check out, but more concerned about Oren first, obviously.
Well, let's go get Oren. What I'm concerned about, I guess, is the speed at which we take to get him.
Yes.
It's about the same.
To go around the island or to go directly to
If it's the same, I say coast.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. So we're going to take the coast then. Let me make a couple of rolls here. All right. So you guys are going across the coast, and make perception checks for me.
Oh, my specialty.
Oh, there's an nat 20 in there for Mr. Mav.
I see it.
Yep. Filbert,
Dang, Phil really sees it.
you and Mav definitely see this. Up ahead, there is an orange in green patches of ground. Really far up ahead of you. Your perception checks were pretty good. And they are moving. It looks like they're smashing together and then backing up again.
What are they?
They're mating.
At this distance, it looks like big patches of ground.
Can I fire a warning shot?
Sure.
I think it's far enough away that we can't make a warning shot.
Just don't roll a 1 this time.
That's probably true. It's far enough away to where a warning shot.
Over 120 feet?
120 feet.
Hey, I can fire a warning shot with my bow if you want.
It's a little. It's about 200 feet away.
Yeah, but why are we doing this? Why are you?
We're not shooting a warning shot. Can we approach cautiously and stealthily?
Sure, make stealth checks.
I can't stealth.
Yeah.
There's a one.
No.
Bill!
It's going to be a 1.
Hi-yo!
The heavily armored guys are still
More
quieter
stealthy.
than.
Yeah.
Yep.
Phil is going on a rant about how he cannot possibly be seen by these things.
Phil's making elk noises.
Yeah. But you're not an elk anymore, are you?
No, but he's a
Phil?
person making
Right.
elk noises.
Yeah.
Luckily, these two groups of things don't pay any attention to you at all. What you see are two swarms of crabs. Huge swarms of crabs, like 30 yards across, swarms of crabs. And they are attacking each other. And the field, or the beach ahead of you is littered with crab pieces. It looks like you're at war.
I bet crab meat is really good.
Crab meat is probably really good, but
We can take them.
I mean, we can. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about waging war on a people, on an entire civilization.
Freaking Winnie the Pooh. What the heck?
It's like sticking out his back.
Good grief. Oh my gosh.
They're I have a like a professional curiosity about what's going on.
I think we all have a professional curiosity.
Yeah.
You want to leave this alone? Is that what you're saying?
Like, kind of. Yeah, I don't know if it, like this is one of those things to where, like, I think if we spend time here, we will glean some information about the island
Hey,
itself.
Mike, how big did you say each one of these swarms was, like, lengthwise?
About 30 yards.
30 yards.
Yep.
And how big are these crabs?
They're big crabs. They're each about a foot in diameter.
And there's brown crabs and what?
Orange and green.
There's orange crabs and green crabs. Like they're the two warring factions.
That's what it looks like.
How?
I mean, and now that you're watching them for a while, they're tactically advanced. It's kind of weird. You see them making pincer maneuvers and... Come on, nobody smirked? I didn't get you to smirk.
No, I mean,
The crabs making pincer maneuvers?
I'm busy.
No, I got it.
Does it look like one of the groups is winning?
It does look like the greens have upper hand at the moment.
I'm turning into a giant orange crab and I'm getting in the fight.
That's what we just said we're not.
And this is how we destroy a race of crabs.
Right, if you're gonna join the orange crabs just on a whim, then I feel you've made an uneven fight, and now I have to join the green crabs.
But you're not a crab.
It doesn't matter.
I pincher at you and sidewalk off.
You guys are all standing there looking at the crabs, and all of a sudden, Crab Filbert just comes stomping over you. And Orange Crab Filbert goes charging into the fight. As he rushes down the beach and Thanak is debating getting involved on the green crab side, you hear the orange crabs cheer. It's Karak!
They speak common?
Clearly.
Is that what's going on here? The crabs just talk.
You three can make religion checks. Or actually, all four of you.
Alvin reference? Was that
Oh my
that was
gosh.
beautiful?
Oh my gosh.
Matt has no idea.
Oh, crap.
Thanak knows.
I have no idea what's going on here.
Filbert, do you want to make one?
Sure.
Thanik knows what's going on. Why do you know what's going on?
Because Thanak studied crab deities back in.
And he was worried about us getting
The weed garden chapter?
Filbert might know.
Yeah, Filbert, you both recognize this. Karak is a commonly used deity represented by a crab. It is often worshipped by lesser creatures, especially aquatic ones. Every once in a while, kobolds that live near the shoreline of certain places worship Karak. Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk into the midst of them and just like put my pinchers up and like try and like impose myself between the.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm on a whim here.
Make an intimidation check.
All right, I can do that.
The orange ones are already on your side, but the green, what are the green going to do?
I flex with my pinchers.
And
It's a 16.
They all put their green claws up and they're like, oh, and they all start to sidewalk back into the grass.
Ambassador Filbert does it again.
All right.
Flawless victory. I love this game. I love this game.
I feel like there should be some sort of like ethics violation here. You are impersonating a deity as an ambassador.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of impersonations that happen in the Fae. I can't talk to you. I just bring my crab army and scuttle around.
The irony is that all the rest of the crabs can talk to me.
The irony is that.
That's spectacular.
And as Filbert races back over to your group, the group wants to know if
yes, that's exactly what I was thinking.
If you too worship the avatar of Karak.
No.
I would say
I don't know.
I would say that that Karak is. I mean, what do I know? What do I know about Karak? Because Adam, I don't actually know anything about him.
That Karak is just a crab god.
Would Thanek find him to be an honorable deity?
It's a neutral deity, represents nature and the cycles of aquatic life.
Before you do that, Mav, we've already pissed off one deity who's going to turn us into fish people. Do we really want to be a hybrid fish crab?
By who? Phil?
No, deity.
Let me remind you that Phil is the one who's hearing this conversation.
It's not to say that the deity's not watching going, WTF?
I would say.
Oh, we know I did the right thing by him. We don't.
I would tell the crabs that I don't worship him, but I am not an enemy of him.
I sleight of handed my way behind, and I hit the war gong, and I'm just dancing behind the group while they're talking to the crabs.
I would like to draw everyone's attention to the world map and just point out that if we piss off a deity in this general area, we will now have the trifecta.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the next place. I saw the map and I saw that like dragon serpent thing, and I was like, we gotta go there. We absolutely have to go there.
We have no choice.
Don't forget over there. We gotta do something over there too.
Yeah.
Well, we already pissed off that deity. We're fine there. We have to piss off other deities.
Which one do we do down there?
What? The water one?
No,
That's the top left.
Yeah.
Yeah, your continent's up here.
Oh, whoops.
You guys are from there.
I'd like to
Phone a friend.
I'd like to point out on the map.
Well, I'll let you know what happens at the tournament, Ryan. You have potential because that's the Compass Isles are down in that area. So you might, as a player, be able to cover 3/4 of my map.
Well, if it's not this group, I mean, then it's just a watch. It's got to be this thing. Yeah.
So the crabs, you bang the war gong, and several of them, like, they start to scuttle around, and you realize they're carrying pieces of metal that some of them are using as weapons and other things like that. So one of them pulls out a fork, and another one pulls out like a tin plate, and it starts banging. They're banging them together.
It's the Fight Club for crabs.
As soon as Mike said he pulls out a weapon, I already knew what picture you were getting. I saw it in your face, and I was like, I know it.
Is it the lobster with the knife?
Yeah, it totally is. It totally is.
Yes!
Yeah!
Yes. So, now your crabs are scuttling around on the beach, and they all of a sudden they just zip off into the water. And they're just like piling over each other into the water. Great crab migration into the water. As they do that, the green ones come over through the grass, and they're dragging a chest with them. And they apologize for offending the Great Karak.
I go and I sit on the box.
You go sit on the box, and they start like clacking their claws together like they're clapping. And as they do that, the orange crabs come back up out of the water, and they too are dragging a box. They see the green box, and they begin to fight again.
Yes! Tribute!
Phil, every time you dance, that's what I see.
Can
You're
I
not crab walking, you're...
Heavying.
Can I pick up each of the boxes with my claws and just scuttle away victorious?
You can. Now the crabs are chasing you.
Oh, crap. Go. I'm gonna get it. I am now, Captain Jack running from the Aboriginal.
Gosh.
Gotta go!
What do you guys want to do? There's
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
crabs. Giant crabs.
We've literally spent, I think, like 10 or 15 minutes here.
This could have been a big deal, but Phil made it mayhem. Which, to be fair, is what Phil does, so...
Yes. They're bringing a chest to us?
No,
I
Phil
took the
has
chest,
both the
I'm
chests,
already
and he's now
They're
running
already
around
here.
with them, and the crabs are
And
now
they're-
chasing him.
Like, good chasing or bad chasing?
They look angry.
Phil, put it down. What are you doing?
They gave it, I can't respond.
You can respond. Just not with words.
I bring you the chests.
Thank you. I will put the chest down and take a step back. So that the crabs can come and...
Okay. The
Do whatever
crabs
they want to do with
individually
this.
swarm their chests, and you hear both of them say, like the little aliens from Toy Story, "Open."
Oh, okay.
Which one?
Oh, crap. I have to choose? I have to pick a team.
Keep in mind, you're already on a team.
I am an orange crab. I'm going to pick the orange crab.
Phil, before
What?
you do anything,
What?
I would remind you, you have 2 pincers.
Oh. Are they close enough that I could yeet both of them?
You could make a dexterity check to do so.
I'm going to do a dexterity check with a +2 because crab 10.
No, that is not good. Please roll a 50-50 to see which one opens first.
All right.
Below 10 and below, it's orange.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Orange it is.
You throw open the lid to the orange chest, and you hear tick 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 tick. And
I run.
Thanik looks over, and he recognizes the device that is in the inside of this chest as an explosive device. Please make dexterity saving throws as it goes off.
Oh my gosh. Jeez.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy.
We all have to do this.
Yep.
I hate you, Fuller.
Anthropologically speaking, I don't understand what is happening. You presented yourself as their god, and now they are trying to blow you up.
Is that
They
everybody?
want me to ascend.
Mav,
Please take this bomb.
you do
as
not
tribute.
make the saving throw, unfortunately. Everybody else does. Mav, you're going to take 33 points of damage. It leaves you standing with 1 hit point. Everybody else is going to take 16 points of damage, and the place now reeks of crabs. The crabs,
Oh my gosh.
they're just
Are all the
burning.
crabs dead?
They're dead. The whole area is just decimated.
I'm going to open the other box.
I'm walking away.
Wait. Before you open that up, I will
I
look to see
swear-
if there is any kind of mechanism in this thing.
I freaking swear. Someone's getting glazed in the face pretty soon.
Did you say 16 damage?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm no longer crab.
I'm gonna take a look at the
You're no
The
longer a
boxes.
crab, and Mav is just burned in the front. Like, the whole back of
Yeah.
his garb looks not charred, but the
Like
whole
a
front of him is
cartoon.
just
Yeah.
blasted back.
yeah.
Like the black marks, like
Yes. Yes.
Is this one trapped?
This one is indeed trapped as well, but not with an explosive trap. This looks like it is a poison needle trap.
go ahead, open it.
Yeah. Is there anything? Was there anything in the? I'll open it, but I'll turn around.
No, don't you open it.
Who open it?
Filbert!
Have the big crab open it.
He's not a crab
I'm not a
anymore.
crab anymore. I got blown up.
No, open it anyway.
You
Right.
open it. You got more hit points.
He blew us up!
I want Phil to open it.
I'll open it.
You could
Yeah,
try and
open it.
disarm it.
You
I
could
mean,
try.
I'll try to disarm it.
No, no disarming. Just
Too
open
late.
it.
It's too late. I've already tried.
It's a pretty old trap. It's easy to disarm. You get your pliers around the needle and you just kind of yank it out, and you're like, huh.
Can I just assume that this was a trap made by crabs?
No, it
It's
looks
not.
Like, it looks like the crabs found treasure that they could tribute with you, probably from stuff sunk in the ocean.
Yeah.
So they weren't trying to kill us.
Probably, well, because they killed themselves.
Yeah.
So
They just wanted present. They found it, had no way to open it. Gosh. Well.
I opened the box.
It is full
I will-
of old, wet, soggy books. And there is a pouch of emeralds in there as well. That's going to be worth about 500 gold pieces.
Are these books unreadable?
Yes, in their current state. You do believe if somebody took a long time with the mending hand trip, they could probably be fixed.
Doesn't mending erase the words though?
I don't think so. Does it?
I thought, but maybe it was only magical. I
That's
thought
the
mending.
thing that Matt did because he thinks it's funny.
I don't know if it does or not. I didn't. I assumed it didn't, but
So
Okay.
now that we've had fun, what's next, guys?
Do we have a way to contact anybody? How far away are we from camp?
you're
Is
a long
Hazani here?
ways.
We're how far
You're
away?
a long ways. You've traveled most of the day.
Yeah.
I almost want to see if there's a way that some people could. I mean, but this is going to go to waste pretty. Crab meat. It tastes a whole lot better than.
Wyvern. It's pretty dirty and
Yeah.
charred and
Blown up.
yep. I mean, it could maybe be washed, but
Is Hazani with us?
no, she is at camp.
Okay. I wasn't certain.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Should we take a
Waste.
short rest, guys?
Sure.
Is
Well,
now the time for the short rest, Adam?
You're getting closer to the end of your day's travel. You could take a long rest.
A rest from all the damage that we just took from explosion.
So why don't we do that? Well,
In
maybe we can
a
cook some of this crab meat.
non-combat capacity?
Yeah.
That
Maybe we'll
was-
try to cook some of this crab meat.
Someone
and-
was
Yeah,
combating.
I was just about to ask, is there any crab meat salvageable?
Yeah, you guys would be able to salvage up enough for dinner.
Got it.
Although you are about to eat sentient beings.
They're dead.
Uh,
I mean, as long as you don't care.
Oh, that's true. We should not do that. So we don't actually. Who knows? Maybe we already piss. We don't need to piss off a deity any more than we probably already have.
They killed themselves. That wasn't
Yeah.
our.
Here's the thing. Understanding about Krakatoa or whatever this guy's name
Karak.
is. Karak. He's a god of balance and nature,
Yep.
right? Circle of life, man. You eat. Like it's not a negative to. It would be more of a negative for this to go to waste than it would to
Was your religion check high enough to determine that?
That was
We're not
pretty high.
hunting.
I
We're
mean,
not, yeah, it was a
does
21. We're not hunting in like trying to kill sentient creatures. But
does it count? Does
yeah.
it count when he was impersonated under the circumstance? How about that? Should we just throw that one out there?
That wasn't me.
I'm not saying it was you.
If-
I don't know who it was. I'm just saying,
If
like,
Phil causes problems with some,
does that make the situation any more right because he impersonated a deity? Like,
Listen. Phil's actions are his own. I am okay eating crab because otherwise it will go to waste.
Are
This
they?
way,
You're supposed to be watching me.
gosh,
You're responsible for my actions.
who is supposed to be watching you?
You guys?
I believe there were repeated attempts in that. No, this is not what we're doing, and you're like, I'm doing it. I'm
Yeah.
just turned into a crab. Oh hey,
yeah.
pretty sure.
Let's
was-
avoid this. Let's avoid this. Wait, hey, where's Phil?
Yeah.
Oh, Phil's a
Pretty sure
crab.
that's
All right,
exactly
all
what
right.
happened.
No, I felt with the Reverend. Hey, are you going to bring that back here? No, I'm a sheep.
Can't wait to listen to
It was
replay
chasing
on
you.
that.
Are you trying to bring it back? No, but
Okay.
I'm bringing it back anyways.
So you guys gather up crab meat and make camp
Absolutely. I'm going to dig a hole.
and are you taking watches?
Yeah.
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 Make
No, I'm at least start. I'll take the first watch. Nav needs to go to sleep first.
We're,
Last watch.
We're starting this early enough to where we would have time to like prepare dinner and
yeah, absolutely.
do something with the rest of these crabs. I will give these crabs a dwarven burial.
Give me that.
Dwarven burial. Okay.
Can I get a perception check for your turn on watch?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to find out what you want. There's too much ridiculous happening for me
There was
right now.
quite a bit of it right there.
Oh my
What?
gosh! Oh my gosh!
Gibbering
Knock it
Mothers
off
coming
with
out of the maelstrom.
the
Othig, having the last watch of the evening, you're sitting there, and you're looking around the camp, and
I swear, if it's something to do with crabs,
No.
everyone's getting woke up.
you notice there's a set of small reptilian footprints that have made their way into the camp, towards where Thanak is sleeping, and then back out of the camp.
Oh crap!
And that's where I'm going to leave you for tonight.
Oh, come on.
Great.
Panic lost something.
I would have had more time to figure out what. Nope.
That was awesome.
All right.
Wonderful.
That was we almost got eaten by a giant.
No.
Hey, Mike, are they?
We almost got killed by a
like,
deity.
in relation to Sky?
What?
Like, do they look like?
Oh, much
tracks
smaller
that
than
Sky
Skies.
would leave?
No, much smaller than Skies.
I'll see you later, guys.
All right.
Hey, Andy,
Good night, man.
wait.
Hey,
What time are you guys available tomorrow afternoon?
Well, I'm going to be up at the middle school at midnight working on the phone system.
Oh.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'll probably be up there. I have to take Nick to a doctor's appointment. So I can be up there probably around 1-ish.
Okay, because I have tomorrow off, so I'm available
Okay.
all day. What about you, T?
I plan on going in the bit to finish a wire pull so it's out of everybody's way, and I will be at the high school. So if you just want to come to the high school, I'll be.
Okay. And then Ryan, are you still planning on getting to town a little late?
No, actually, but I'll be there pretty close to on time. Maybe a little sooner, not by much.
Awesome. Cool. Very
So I think 6:30 was the start time for
Oh
me,
my God,
to read,
guys.
right?
Yep. Good night, Adam.
Night, dude.
Correct. So, awesome. That's perfect.
Okay. Which school?
The high school.
High school.
The high school. Okay.
It's right by the church, if you remember how to get to the church.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
It's real close to the church. So.
Oh yeah, it's on that road before you turn
Yep.
to the church, right?
Yep. You
Okay.
are correct. Cool.
So just get there for 6:30.
Yeah. Just
All
head
right.
straight there. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow then.
All right, sounds
See
good.
you later.
Bye.
Have a good night.